Two, one. Hello, everybody. We are live. Tonight we have Hey Bitches with the host, Helena Hologram. I know you see it right there in the middle of the screen. Before I let H2 do the thing, we had some technical difficulties on H2's page tonight, but of course, I'm not only the research department, I'm technical support when necessary. So, that being said, I got your back as always, H2. So worry not. Let me worry about the technicals on this end, and I'll chime in when I need to, and you do your thing. So that being said, folks, without any further ado, Helena Hologram, hey bitches, let's get it.
Hey, bitches, what's going on? What's going on? Happy Monday night, and as usual, you know how we do. No, no, no. This is adult conversation. We talk about adult things, and we make it all about adults. One thing I want y'all to know that I always say: we don't do disrespect in any way, shape, and
There
form.
will
We
be
don't
no
do it.
disrespect, because I got the hammer over here. If I see that mess pop up, me and you going to have a discussion later on, and you ain't going to like what we got to say. And I'm not even going to do it because the people in the comments, they got our back.
And it's not going to take you to. It's not going to take you to be in this on this show for 20 minutes to figure out that this is not for you. Every show is not for everybody, and in knowing that, I'm asking everybody to be respectful. We're going to have a good time tonight. We're going to have wonderful conversation. And what I need y'all to do is be ready to obtain all of this information that we're going to partake to you. It's information that you should know, and that you need to know. I'm going to take this time right now and introduce. I'm not going to introduce my guest. I'm going to let my guest introduce himself because I get kind of tongue tied and I don't want y'all to think I don't know what I'm talking about. Praise the Lord.
Hello, everybody. What's up, y'all? My name is Brother Merrick Moses. I am a urban monk and priest in Baltimore, Maryland.
All right, all right.
That's my son, whom I love to life. We're gonna do the thing, and the topic that we're gonna talk about first. We're gonna talk about HBCU and the need for them in our community. Okay,
I'm so
we
looking forward to that discussion. Please go forward.
Now, when we think about HBCUs, we all know, all of y'all don't know. We all know that Cheney University is the very first. And back in the day, when it was originally called. Listen to this: the Institute for Colored Youth. Listen to what I'm saying, because a lot of these HBCUs had former names before they changed over to state colleges and university. And that can be homework in itself. If you get time, go and look at the former names before a lot of these HBCUs were formulated. I mean, a lot of people don't even know that Howard University was Hampton University was actual Hampton Institute before it became the university. So this is stuff that we need to do. And I'm going to share a little bit of I'll be taking my notes. I'll be taking my notes. Roughly 80% of black judges and 80% of black doctors and their students account for 25% of black undergraduates who earn degrees in STEM, science, technology. Y'all know what STEM is. Many of the institutes are struggling. We know at this time we only have two HBCUs that are for women and women only. That's Bennett College and that's Spelman College. Those two still only house women only. But I want you to realize one thing. I said Spelman, but you know what? Spelman is also ranked the number one college for HBCU. Spelman is in Atlanta, Georgia. Its tuition is $29,972. Its graduation percentage is 69%. Their student body is 2,120. Their school colors are white and Columbia blue. Look, I'm going with this.
Okay,
I got my.
I see you on it, but slow down a little bit. Let's talk about some of these things. Now, you doing your research and you see how many HBCUs it are. I mean, I did a little bit myself, you know that, and I see that. One thing I didn't know is that it's actually HBCUs in 20 different states. I didn't know that at all.
hmm
In different states, and Alabama had, and according to this, Alabama has the most HBCUs. But let me give you this. Let me give you this. This is something I want y'all to keep in mind. Now,
Okay.
Columbia University, their tuition is $56,631,000 a year compared to Spelman,
Wow.
which is $29,972. Harvard, $51,925, and the average tuition for non-HBCUs is $37,000.
All right. All right.
I mean, being at a HBCU, it just makes sense. It makes cultural sense. It makes fiscal sense. I'm a graduate of an HBCU. I'm a graduate of Morgan State University in Baltimore, Maryland. That's how I got to Baltimore. I got a scholarship to Morgan.
That's awesome.
Oh, I knew it was a reason why I liked you, but
Oh yeah, people. Any of y'all went to HBCUs? By all means, chime in. We want to hear from y'all too.
yeah, rep your HBCU. Now check this out. Now the top 25 colleges. Let me go down them and let you hear them first. Okay, we're gonna go. I got notes all over the place. Y'all don't pay me no mind. Number one is. Number two is Howard University. Number Xavier. Number four is Tuskegee. Number five is Hampton Institute. Number six is Morehouse. Number seven is Florida A&M and NCAT. I don't even know how to pronounce this one. Y'all help me out. Number nine is CLALIN.
What?
Oh, my bad. Okay, yeah, we got a few comments, H2. Let me go and pick them up for you. Okay, you see we got the Facebook user thing, but I'll let you know who is who. You got ISRA, right? Oh, you know who it is. Your son is in the building.
It's
All right. You got Miss Pat in the building. What's going on, Miss Pat? How y'all doing?
Miss.
I know you got your girl back as always. That's Miss Pat. She said, go ahead and say it for one time.
Oh,
there you go.
We do. Where we stop at? Okay.
All right, you're saying you and me, we always got our research on point. I appreciate that, Miss Pat. Thank you so much. Like I said, we'll have other people joining. I'm sure, like I said, we've been inviting them, and they'll be checking in soon enough. Okay, now back to your research, H2. Here's the thing. One of the things about the HBCUs that I found interesting is that, you know, they go back far before even I knew. Because, you know, I sent you that little piece about how the first HBCU was founded in Pennsylvania in 1839. You know, that's before slavery was over. Did you know?
And what a lot of people not realize that a lot of HBCUs were formed and founded even before Brown versus Board of Education. Let's keep that in mind. Okay. All these places was established before Brown versus the Board of Education.
Yep, very true. Very true. Okay, hey mom, y'all can call me Israel. Okay, good, because you know your Facebook title, that's a mouthful. And, you know, last night when we was over there with Big Meech and them, we was trying to figure out what to call you. So yeah, I'm glad you worked that out for us.
Yeah, we ain't got that much time to pronounce your whole name, honey.
Right.
Let me get back to
1839. Yeah, tell her about that first HBCU.
Right. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you, the first HBCU, well, the oldest, not the first. Not the first and the oldest. Shit, what am I saying? It's the first and the oldest, and that's what a lot of people don't realize is that HBCU was founded by Quakers.
Yeah, Quakers. You know, Quakers were the people that was helping the abolitionists, you know, the people that wrote about slavery and why it was wrong. And they were some of the people who found the Underground Railroad.
Are you talking about Wilberforce? Are you talking about Wilberforce?
No, Wilberforce is in Ohio. I know that because that's one of the few HBCUs that I actually visited.
Okay. And we know there's only one HBCU in the wonderful old state of Michigan. I'm so sorry, honey.
No, that's okay, because you know what I didn't know was I actually have been there before. I didn't know it was an HBCU. I just thought it was just a school.
But you know, it blew my mind because you know there are actually some HBCUs that are actually junior, quote unquote, junior/community colleges.
Yep.
I think it's one or two of them that are colleges that aren't
in Michigan,
but I
do that. Business school. It's Lewis College of Business, y'all. For y'all who don't know, that's the one in Michigan.
Right, but see, I never knew that.
Hey, look.
And we're gonna
Look who in the house. Coach V in the house.
Hey, Coach, what's going on, Coach V? That's why everybody, y'all remember on Sundays, y'all need to join this show. It's all about sports. Tell them, Eric, because you know I get all talks. But I was up in there Sunday.
Oh,
All of my information out.
y'all rap about sports? Okay.
Oh yeah.
Every 12 o'clock.
Yeah, Coach V, him and his partner Will Muhammad, he a little under the weather, but maybe he'll join us a little later, perhaps. Shout out to you, Coach. Hope you're feeling better. But they have a show called Pure and Uncut. They talk about Lions Talk and more. It comes on Sundays, 12 p.m. And of course, you can find this just like you find in this show now on my Nighthawk Network, also known as the Get Off My Lawn information page.
I know that's right.
Yeah, Coach.
I tell you all the time, we don't say get off that lawn here. We say get off that concrete because we ain't got much.
Or get off the stoop.
Yeah, Miss Pat. Yes, we were, because Miss Pat was in the house with us over there on Pure and Uncut yesterday too.
Yes, she was.
Yes,
but y'all know what? I'm gonna tell y'all something that's real quick. A lot of us know it, but I think we forget that we have to give props because a lot of these HBCUs have graduates who are notable people, like Puff Daddy, Toni Morrison, Taraji P. Henson, Keisha Knight Pulliam, Samuel L. Jackson, Alice Walker,
Vice President-elect Kamala Harris.
You know we got to talk about that one.
And she's an AKA. So it was just so important. So important.
We talked about her last week because we did the significance of sororities and fraternities in the HBCUs. And I think that was the biggest. I think we had over close to 300 comments.
Oh yeah, it was a big subject. And you know what? That's something I really didn't know about Howard. Remember that thing I sent you? Howard University, y'all, is the only HBCU that has a law school and a medical school. How about that?
Yes. That was not that right there was something that took me and it took me for a loop. Like right now, because just shooting out little facts. Like Albany State University has the highest accepted rate and is the easiest HBCU to get into.
Yep, 91%.
Oh, wow.
91%. So for all you people that's looking to find some schools for your children to go to, and keep in mind also something I learned today, you do not have to be black to go to a HBCU.
They give white folks minority scholarships.
All are welcome. But see, I should have known that because when we think about HBCUs, we all know that one show that we all think about, A Different World. And remember how they had the white students the world that went to the college?
I went to school with white students at Morgan. They got minority scholarships.
Oh, okay. How about that? Look,
my question is,
hold on.
Do we get minority?
Hold on, Miss Pat saying how handsome. She talking about Mr. Morris there.
Hey, thank you.
Moses, yeah. Okay, hold on. I didn't know that was. Yeah, she said she didn't know all that. That's awesome. Yep, we got more facts for you, Miss Pat. There's more where that came from. Keep us flowing. What else you got, H2? Uh-oh.
She frozen.
Yeah, she done froze up. That's all right. I got you till we get you back together.
Right, here we go.
Yep. Yeah. Here we go.
I'm gonna blame the moon.
Are you back with us, H2?
Yes.
It's a lunar eclipse. I'm gonna blame the moon on that.
It might be.
Well, we're gonna blame something, but I know we ain't gonna blame the.
But yeah, we ain't gonna stop the party going. Like I said, if y'all joining us late, we are talking HBCUs right now. Okay, hold on. Coach V got one for you. Don't forget Brown University that closed down. That's right. 3 of the HBCUs have closed down in the last 4 or 5 years, and that's one of them, Brown University.
Yep. Boris Brown, that was really
my concern is that because of the pandemic and how schools have to deal with stuff, HBCUs don't have the funding that a lot of these major colleges do, because a lot of the major colleges, not only do they get funding from different government outlets, but also they get funding from some of their alumni. And
right.
The alumni at some of these schools, they got that big bread. Not so much for the HBCUs.
But see, we know American myself, we know that our governor has been very stingy with giving the HBCUs in Maryland their due cause as being supported by higher education or whoever. And now I'm gonna go on a tangent, but you know what? I'm so glad Donald Trump lost and we getting rid of Bessie A. I'm so happy that we get rid of that ass from being in charge of the education department. She probably was the reason why she wasn't giving us no damn money.
Now, see, and you know, normally I can't stand the orange clown, but one thing I can credit him for is that when the HBCUs came to get government support, because apparently they were doing that every year, he noticed that that was an every year thing, and he extended them. So now they get it for the next 10 years. But what future President Biden's talking about doing is not only giving that support for the next 10 years, but also increasing the amount of support that they get. So that will be a blessing for sure.
But see, we need to make sure that we encourage ours to support and be a part of these HBCUs, because they're not these HBCUs are not no fly by night schools. It's not like, you're gonna go in there and take a bunch of bird courses, because we talk about people with major damn degrees. We're not talking about you just going there and taking basket weaving 101 and you're gonna take cycling 202. No, we need these HBCUs are certified schools that, like I guess can tell you, he's in a few seconds he's going to tell us about his experience at Morgan, because HBCUs have different experience, and we learned last week that Morgan State was the one that placed the last fraternity completed the Divine Nine.
Yes. So that's Iota Phi Theta.
All right. And what's Iota Phi Theta's colors, by the way?
Brown and gold.
Okay.
So who is that? Do I Iota? Who's their sister counterpart?
They don't have one.
Okay.
But that's
I mean, it makes sense because the Divine Nine, they're the ones that odd man out at the moment.
And before that, it was the grade 8.
Exactly.
See, thank you. So I just came in on the Divine Nine, but thank you for the grade 8. Because like I was asking Eric, I was like, excuse me, like, how the hell was they the Divine Nine? And then Morgan didn't bring their damn fraternity into like 1953. The other 8 was like way back in 18 something. I said that, but I ain't never know that they was called the grade 8 before the Divine Nine. See, people listen. You listen to Mother Atlanta, she can teach you some shit.
Absolutely. Okay. Miss Pat climbing in again. She's saying, my great aunt died this year. She was 99 years old. She went to Benedict College. Now, Miss Pat, what state is Benedict College in? Normally I could do my research department thing, but because I'm co-hosting and whatnot, I can't really jump to that. So
I think South Carolina.
No.
I think Benedict is in South Carolina.
Okay. Way to be on today, too.
Yeah, that was part of my research. I had to do so. Merrick, tell us how was your experience at an HBCU? I mean, how was it for you? Was it all that you expected? Was it stressful? Was it be around African American counterparts?
I loved my experience. I loved my experience at Morgan because Morgan gave me a second family. It was one of the best experiences in my life. I got to meet Black people from all over the world. And truthfully, I went to a school in New York, a high school, where the predominant groups of students were Asians. So I'm used to diversity. I'm also used to Black diversity. But at the time, I didn't know too many continental Africans. So when I went to Morgan, I met them. When I met Morgan, I just learned how to be an adult. It really had a great effect on me.
Who are some of the famous alumni there? Because maybe people don't consider them famous, but when I think of Morgan, I always think of the young man who was in charge of the choir.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Dr. Carter.
Yes.
Yeah.
The man.
May God rest his soul. He passed away a couple of years ago. But I think you said notable alumni, Earl G. Graves, who founded Black Enterprise magazine. You got Denise Williams, who's a singer. She sang "Let's Hear It for the Boy" and "Black Butterfly." And
Okay.
you also have Zora Neale
Sweet.
Hurston actually attended Morgan when it had a high school.
How long ago was
So
that? Good Lord.
so Morgan has been around since 1867. When it was founded as Centenary Bible College. It was a college for ministers, and then from there the mission grew.
Well, I know it's a lot of HBCUs had for lack of a better word had a Christian background. You know, some of them were um there was one in here that they were actually they was it no what's it spelled? But a lot of them had, like I say, oh, y'all don't pay me no mind. I got sidetracked. But a lot
Uh-huh.
had a religious base to them because that,
Yeah,
like I say, that it's actually 20 states in the union that actually has HBCUs, including, and y'all need to check this out, including DC and the U.S. Virgin Islands. See,
Yep.
a lot of times when we think about that, we don't think about that. And Alabama has the most HBCUs at 14.
Right. And see, the thing
I
that
can
I
believe
found
that.
interesting also is that you think most of the HBCUs is down south. That's not the case.
No,
Like I
not at
said,
all.
there's one here in Michigan, Lewis College of Business, but it's also some in California and Vermont and a couple other places I found interesting.
And this is going to be deep because out of the top 25 HBCUs, five of them are in North Carolina, three of them are in Georgia, three of them are in Virginia, three in Mississippi, three in the DMV, two in Louisiana.
We got four in Maryland. We
Yeah,
got
right,
Morgan, Coppin, UMES, and Bowie.
right, but unfortunately, Coppin or Bowie didn't make the top 25.
They still HBCUs though.
But we have, those are, but we besides those three, we also like Merrick said, we also have Coppin, we have Bowie, UMES, and actually surprisingly enough, UMES actually was in the top 25. I mean, it's a lot.
Mm.
Well, you know, Clark of Atlanta, Jackson State, Winston-Salem, University of Maryland, Eastern Shore, they're actually ranked number 18 in the top 25. And Morgan State, let me find this good old Morgan. I know they on here somewhere. Where you at, Morgan? I don't want y'all to let Merrick down. Where you at, Morgan? I know you on here somewhere.
My experience at Morgan was invaluable. I mean, and the best part about it is I worked my way through high school to get a scholarship. And I met so many different people from so many different backgrounds. And it taught me so much about being a Black person in America. I
Right,
mean, at the time, I was doing a lot of community work at home in Queens. So I was used to that, but I learned so much about the Black diaspora and our history as a people. And I
right,
think that's why HBCUs need to endure because we need those schools, not just to educate ourselves, but to preserve our history.
right. That, and, that,
Okay, now,
and that,
now look, somebody brought up a very interesting point here. Matter of fact, it's Coach V. He's saying a lot of the HBCUs are owned and founded by Europeans.
Yeah, but okay, and that does not change the fact that they have graduated some of the most educated
Right.
Black people in the history of the United States.
Right. Now, no,
And I also
I
and I
don't think
also
he
say
meant that
this.
as a negative thing. I think he's saying that the fact that there were people who were of the non-colored persuasion, they saw the necessity to set up these places where blacks can educate themselves.
right,
Yeah, and they had the capital. They the ones that had the money.
right.
Exactly.
And we're not slighting them. We're grateful, but like Merrick said, everybody needs to realize that the importance of preserving our history. You know, now back in the day, we gonna say how old I am because that's not necessary. Back in the day when I was in high school, we had a class called Struggle for Black Equality that taught you, you know, black education and boom, 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 boom. But now it's like that's a gold nugget for us. HBCU should be gold nuggets for us. No disrespect to anybody else. I think we should just do a campaign on sending our children to HBCUs so our history won't die. You know, the word of God says we as a people will perish because of a lack of knowledge. If you don't know about your black history is gonna fucking die. Period.
Okay, now hold on, Miss Pat's chiming in. I know where I went to Cassville College in 1980. They used to light crosses on the grass, and you know they were the KKKs. And see, I'm glad you brought that up, Pat, because here's the thing. Now, I was one of those kids in school, you know, I guess you could call me nerdy, bright, what have you.
Me too.
And it got to a point where, you know, when it was time to determine what college to go to, I had several choices, primarily because, you know, I got that good ACT score and I had them good grades. So, you know, I started getting just offers. You know, I wasn't even putting in for them. They were just sending the papers in the mail like, okay, we like for you to check out our school. We like for you to attend our school. Here's a partial scholarship. So full disclosure, I got 3 full scholarships to attend a HBCU. Now, eventually I decided not to do that. And my personal thought at the time was, I don't think I should go to a HBCU because in the end, this world is not a black person's world. It's a white man's world. So in order to understand what the white man is about, you need to be part of their environment. Not to mention the fact that as a resident of Detroit, environment where I was around black people 24/7, I kind of wanted to have a different experience of, you know, being around people that wasn't me to see how the other half live. You know what I'm saying?
Which is good, and you know I appreciate that, but I just want us as a people to realize that we have these golden nuggets out there for us to take. Now, no, we know that every African American male or female is not going to go to a HBCU. That's a given. We know that. But what we're saying is for those of you who can, and for those of you who can't afford those bigger colleges, the same thing you get there. Like if you want to go for law or medical, guess what? Howard has the same thing, and I guarantee you, it's probably $10,000 to $15,000 cheaper than going to Harvard or Yale or whomever, or Columbia for that much. Because right now, Columbia is the highest tuition wise. Columbia is the highest college to get into as far as tuition is concerned, because they're almost $60,000 a year.
Okay, I got a few comments. Hold on. The cavalry is here. Okay, Miss P saying exactly. Oh, guess who up in here? Auntie Nikki in the house.
Hey, Auntie Nikki, love you.
I didn't know y'all was gonna be clearer than we are. I didn't know we were on Get Off My Lawn. No, actually, we not on Get Off My Lawn. We are on the info page because we had some technical difficulties, Nikki. So we had to do a last minute switch and bait. So yeah, we still doing Hey Bitches Live. Helena is the host. That's why she's sitting here in the middle. And you know, we just wanted to make sure. We just wanted to make sure that the show went on. You know, I always got the technical support, just like I got the research department down. You know what I'm saying? Guess who else in the building? Big
yes, Lord.
Big Meech is in the building.
Where?
He's at the donut factory, but he's here.
That's my
Big Meech. Yeah, that's right. Dish and
so
tea.
everybody say yes.
Dish and tea is
everybody say.
Thank y'all for checking us out. We appreciate it. I'm gonna just keep doing what you need to do right quick, H2.
Did you know that there was actually but they're not in the same place, but did you guys know that there was actually 2 Xavier Universities?
No,
I never heard that story before.
Now
they had one that's a HBCU and one that's not a HBCU.
Okay, now my question is, are they both founded by the same person?
No. One of them is actually founded by a Caucasian
Catholics,
lady.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Aren't they isn't one of them a Catholic university?
Right. That's why I said a lot of the HBCUs a lot of the HBCUs came out, a lot of them were either schools for teachers, you know, back then they had a lot, you know, school for teachers, a black school for this, and then a lot of them got popularity because they were agricultural colleges.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think, I mean, besides HBCUs, I'll check into it. But besides HBCUs, I don't. Are there any other agricultural college outside of the HBCUs?
Oh yeah, there are plenty.
Oh, okay,
Like Texas A&M. A
okay,
A stands for agricultural and M stands for mechanical.
That's correct.
okay. See, I got the questions, honey. I want to know.
Uh,
That's right.
But Merrick, but you graduated with a degree in psychology and a minor in Spanish.
Yes. So I have a bachelor's of science in psychology and I have a minor in Spanish language.
Okay,
bueno, bueno.
let me
Muy
Spanish. Say my
bien.
mother's sexy. Go ahead and say it.
¿Qué quiere? ¿Qué quiere decirme? What do
All
you want
right.
me to say?
Mhm.
Yo no
Well,
entiendo.
well,
Hold
my
on.
father, my I've been speaking Spanish all my life. My father was Panamanian,
Oh,
so
okay.
he was speaking Spanish and I was speaking English. And
Okay. So,
eventually I ended up studying Spanish and some French in high school.
so tú hablas español mucho.
Sí, un poco ahora.
Sí.
I barely
Well,
speak English. I don't know what the hell y'all talking about, but I hope y'all wasn't talking about me, goddamn it.
okay. Quick interpretation. H2. Yeah, he speaks Spanish a lot. Me pequeño, poquito.
Okay. Whatever makes you happy, I ain't mad at you. But
I used
man, um, what is the climate at? This is what I wanted to ask you about HBCU. What is the I noticed that it's a lot of sororities and fraternities that are moving towards the LBGTQ ABCDEFGHIJK LMNP plus.
No, we told you. Go ahead, call them the alphabet children. That's
Are,
what your sister called them, Big Meech.
are they sister groups to some of these major fraternities and sororities, sisters and brother groups?
well, I've heard whispers and rumors that some may be tangentially connected, but I don't necessarily believe that. I do know of people who are from the Great Eight or Divine Nine and have taught some of these LGBTQ sororities and fraternity steps. I do
Mhm.
know that. But as far as an appendage body, no, I don't. I've never heard of that. I've heard rumors, but I don't necessarily believe the rumors.
So most of them are probably just independent Greek letter organization.
Well, yeah, and to be clear, there are a lot of gay and lesbian people in these organizations.
Yeah, yeah, but I'm talking about the ones who basically, which it kind of blows my mind, who basically set themselves aside and this sororities for all lesbians and this fraternities for all gay men.
That came about because people were getting discriminated against based on their sexual orientation on these campuses. So I
Okay.
know one of the founders of an amazing sorority. Well,
Hmm.
actually, I know two founders. One is in one sorority, another sorority. Well, anyway, they are really a class act, and they really do a lot of good work. I actually see them doing work, so they just don't. They're not like t-shirt wearers. You know what I'm saying? People that just wear t-shirts and don't do nothing.
Are
They
they
actually do the work.
are they? I mean, even though they may not be a part, are they recognized by the other sororities and fraternities?
It depends on what you mean when you say recognize. If you mean like, oh, they see them as a legitimate sorority and fraternity, I don't think that's the measure of things. You know what I'm saying? I think
Right.
that they may be respected by certain members,
Mhm.
but organizationally as a body, they have not made those connections right now.
Okay, so they're almost more or less like flying solo.
Well, they have their own groups that they belong to
Mhm.
in terms of them being all together LGBT sororities and fraternities.
Okay.
But they don't take any. And then I will also say that there are some people from the grade 8 Divine 9 who uh who are in some of these LGBTQ sororities.
But can I but some of them, like say for instance hypothetically, like if I went to college at Hologram University, which is the HBCU, that's I'm working on my accreditation. Um, and I well, let's say I was a part of a fraternity there. Would I be able to be a part of that fraternity and then also be a part of a gay fraternity and be able to be a part of both of them?
Yeah, there's people that do that.
Okay,
But then there are also people who do that and then they affiliate with one sorority or fraternity more than the other. So it
right,
just depends on how people live. But people have done that.
right.
Okay, y'all, we got some more comments. Let's get through them right quick.
All right, Eric, the comment guy.
Haha, you got it. Okay, Miss Pat is saying Cassville was the only college that had my major mortuary science. Yeah, we have Wayne State here in Detroit. They do mortuary science here too as a major.
This
Let's see. Okay, Coach B told me to tell everybody he had to dip out, but yeah, he's saying that schools like Jackson State with the hiring of Deion Sanders, they should help to bring more people into the building as far as HBCUs going, because you know him being there, that's going to definitely make more people watch to see what's going on.
He's
well,
a
you know that
football coach,
happened. That
right?
happened when Doug Williams went down to Grambling. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Absolutely. Oh yeah, Nikki saying that she's so proud when my daughter went to Lincoln University.
Awesome, awesome.
Yeah, I had a cousin who went to well actually I had two cousins that went to Cheney.
Yeah, Nikki said she loved you back, H2. She been looking for us
You
since
know I
9
love
o'clock.
you, Art Nikki.
Yeah, like I said, we tracked y'all down. That way you can find us. All right, hold on. Nikki saying hello to the guests.
Hello.
Yeah,
That's Miss Nikki. She's the co-host of www.dishandtea.com that most definitely comes on every Sunday at 9 o'clock. But through the week, if you check out her page or check out Demetrius Dennis Taylor page, like I said, I know it's every Sunday at 9 o'clock. But during the
Okay.
week they come on too. But check out that page because I want everybody to realize that these platforms are important to us as a people, period. Because you know, with me, I'm gonna bring stuff on here that everybody else want to talk about, but scared to talk about. What they gonna do to me? You know, I'm the one that likes to ask the question that everybody else is scared to ask. But as soon as somebody asks a question, everybody got a whole bunch of shit to say about it. I'm that person,
all right.
unfiltered and raw. Period. Unapologetic. I'm not apologizing for who I am. I am who the hell I am. Period. Boom. Either you like me or you don't. Ain't no in between. Would you like a cookie? Okay.
I know that's
Yeah,
right.
it is. Okay, let's move on, folks. We got Big Meech got a beautiful vehicle. Congratulations. Yeah, congrats.
Yes.
We see you.
Congratulations on your vehicle. What we're gonna do right now is we're gonna ask our guests to give us a little insight on being transgendered in America.
Yeah, Meech said thank y'all. And yes, the alphabet children. That's right.
I can only comment on my experience and it was my transition was what saved my life. Um and I finally feel like I'm walking in purpose. On purpose. God doesn't make any mistake.
Amen to that. Amen.
Hmm.
Okay, I know H2 still there. Okay, I got a question. Now, see,
Yes.
here's the thing. One thing that I was a little discouraged by is that when you look at the dropout rate of colleges, some of the higher dropout rates are among HBCUs, unfortunately. And you know, they say that's because people go to the HBCU and they see all these people that look like them, and it's party time, party time. Let's get it in, let's get it on.
I think a lot of that lack of attrition. Well, that attrition comes from people not being academically prepared because they come from poor schools where they come from. Remember, most of the times in these urban environments, that these children are in subpar schools. Look at Baltimore schools, kids having to wear their coats in the classroom because there was no heat. Look at the water in Flint. You know what I'm saying? So these kids are already at a deficit, and then they go to college, and we expect them to perform like they are in college on college level work when they're really not prepared for it because their education was less than to be desired.
That's very unfortunate though.
It is. We
But
have a problem in America, and if we didn't learn anything else from this election, we need to take this. The American education system is in disarray. It needs to be fixed from top to bottom. You got a lot of people here that believe lies because they cannot think critically. They were never taught logic or reason. That they are completely bought into delusion. You see what
yeah,
I'm saying? And a lot of that is because they don't have the proper schooling.
and you know and the thing about that is we as parents and we as the elders and things like that, we need to make sure that when these children and myself, I mean, because right now look at it, this in home, to me, this in home schooling really isn't working at all. I see more children playing their damn PlayStation 5 than I do them see them sitting in front of their damn computer from 9 to 2 or however long they're supposed to be sitting there.
Right now,
And
you know,
I don't blame it on the kids. I blame it on the damn parents for not stepping up and making sure they do what the hell they supposed to be
before
doing.
you go any further, I'm definitely going to talk about that on my show tomorrow. That's what my show is about tomorrow. It's basically going to be entitled "What About the Children?" because they getting lost in this whole pandemic right now. Right now, we as adults don't know what's going on. So when we had that issue, what do we tell the kids? So we're going to talk about that and other things. That's tomorrow
But
night
see,
on my show. Get off my lawn live. But go
But
ahead.
see, everybody for years have always been saying, you know, the children are our future. But guess what? If we, excuse my language, y'all know I'm wrong, but children are our future. But if we ain't teaching them shit, then we ain't got no damn future. Plain and simple. You got little Tommy going around there. He can score 50 points a damn game, but don't even know how to spell his name.
I knew kids like that when I was working in schools in New York. They thought they were going to go to the NBA, so they didn't really have to get good
Exactly.
grades, but it ended up they did not. Um, and it's sad because they get sold pipe dreams. Either you going to become a rapper, you going to become a basketball star. Nobody talked about being a scientist or a mortician
Or being an
or
astronaut, or being a
yeah,
physician
something like that.
assistant, or being an administrative assistant. I mean, and we talked about that on one of our shows, and and this is what I said then. I don't have no problem with your child having dreams to do this and do that, but along with that dream, he needs a safety net, because when we was on that show, we realized that in basketball, maybe 0.001% of children would ever who in high school ever even have the opportunity to be drafted by the pros. And then the ones who go to college is only like maybe 9% of them be drafted to the pros. And what people fail to realize is just because they're drafted don't mean that they made it, because I've seen people get drafted and they got cut before the damn combine was over with. So even being drafted is not a guarantee. And what I'm saying is, like I said, I don't have a problem with y'all doing your sports thing, but do your education too. Because during that show, we realized that most people, most professional athletes, after 5 years, they fucking broke. Once they get out the league, 5 years later, they're broke.
But again, that also goes to education because they were never taught money management.
That's what I'm saying, and that's why I say that education is so important, because a lot of times y'all get into these, and even in the music realm, y'all get into things and y'all don't realize when you get into the music realm, you not only need a manager, you need a damn entertainment lawyer. All those people you need, they need to be fucking paid. They're not going to do this for you on pro bono.
Okay. Now hold on, H2. The comments blowing up. We got to get to some of them now. They everywhere. The people, they want to talk to you.
All right, we listening.
All right. First of all, we got let me see who it is. This is Israel. He's saying, do any of the HBCUs have a partnership with community colleges? I know the Lewis College of Business, they do, but I don't know about any of the rest of them. Do you?
Now I know Coppin University here in Baltimore. I know they have a relationship with Baltimore City Community College.
That's awesome.
So a lot of them partner with these community colleges. And Israel, remember that we said that there are a couple of HBCUs that are technically community colleges.
Yes, there are HBCUs that's 2-year and 4-year degrees. Now,
right.
The interesting thing about here in Detroit, the way we set up now, basically, if you are a high school student here in Detroit and you graduate from a high school in Detroit, you are automatically eligible to be in the community college here, WC3. You automatically are going to be able to go there, and your education, at least for that first year, as long as your grades are intact, will be paid for completely.
And that's awesome. And we need to encourage. I just think that through media and through TV and movies and all that, so many kids have just been caught up in the I'm going to be a professional this and I'm going to be a professional that. And look at it. I mean, even down to HBCUs, some of them do. But how many people from I asked this to Coach Vita over there? I said, how many students from HBCUs get drafted in the NBA or the Pro or the NFL?
Well, you know, that's a small amount of people that get drafted, period. So, you know,
right.
That's even smaller amount. But you can be successful coming from an HBCU as an athlete.
You most definitely look at Doug Williams.
For instance, Walter Payton was from an HBCU.
Right. Look at Doug Williams.
Exactly. Another great example. And
he won a Super Bowl ring. See, I know about sports too. Don't let these titties fool you. Right. I'm a whole sports fanatic.
From an HBCU. Michael Strahan, he comes from an HBCU, and see what he's doing now.
Yeah, he got, but see Michael, and I learned this through y'all the other day that a lot of these people are commentators, but a lot of professional commentators, but people fail to realize these people got a whole damn mic up in their ear. So I'm sitting here thinking they're so damn intelligent, but people is feeding them a lot of this shit that they saying. They don't know. I thought they knew the shit.
I'm not a fan of Michael Strahan at all.
Ain't he from New York? Ain't that your side of town?
No, the Giants play in New Jersey.
Okay.
I've never been a Giants fan. I was a Jets fan, and then they moved to New Jersey, and that was it. The only team actually in New York State professional football is the Buffalo Bills. I'm a Baltimore Ravens fan because I know where they be at, and they have contributed so much to this community.
I'm sorry to hear that, but I still love you, though. I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan, no matter how bad they do.
I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad at you at that. Y'all playing a whole different conference. I ain't mad at that.
We ain't playing much of nothing this year. I think we played more the bench than we. But anyway, we'll talk about that at a later date.
Well, the Ravens have a COVID outbreak right now.
Right, I think they have like 12 players.
Yeah, they were supposed to play tomorrow, and then they moved the game to Wednesday.
Right. And of course, the University of Michigan, they have a COVID outbreak. They announced that today, so their game is in jeopardy this week.
And then the coach from from Alabama, he couldn't coach when they was ready to play Auburn or whatever. So I mean, I just think that a lot of people, I'm not getting into colors. So many people are just taking this COVID thing so lightly, I'm like, yo, I mean, I was pissed off because I'm like, I don't know why the NCAA just didn't cancel all damn sports, but we realized that it's a revenue thing for them. We realized that with the NBA, it's a revenue thing with the NFL. But and then the sad thing about it is people got to realize once these people have you under contract, person, you're gonna do what the hell they tell you to do, or they're not gonna give you your damn money, and that's crazy. I mean, you're putting people's health before. You're putting money before these people damn health. And Ravens got like 12 damn players that tested positive. How the hell they're going to send their second team to the game? Because everybody on the first string is some fucking
That's the way. Yeah, that's what it's looking like. It's looking like the second and third string people going to play. But when you live in a capitalist system, profit is God. People don't matter.
Amen to that. It's all about the money.
It's sad. It's sad. So, Brother Merrick, I got a question. If you could, if you were gonna take it upon yourself to mentor somebody who's thinking about the process, how would you go about that?
You mean the process of transition?
Yeah,
I, I would first and foremost encourage them to go to therapy and take some time to think about how this may or may not impact their lives. And also to take into account their safety. Is it safe to transition where you are?
right,
There are a whole lot of things that depend on a person's living circumstance that determines whether they transition or not, whether they have a safe transition,
right.
where are they in a safe place. You know, because a lot of these kids end up being on the street because of who they are.
And see the issue that I had with it, and then it bothers me because some of the kids, not all of them, but some of the kids get caught up in um going to these fly by night people to get shit done, and it backfires on them. I mean, I know the transition is not a cheap process. Period. It's not a cheap process, but so many people go to them people like Miss Kelly and Miss Dawn and Miss this person and get shit pumped in a basement on a damn table, and then 2 or 3 years later, that shit is spread through their body so bad that they're no longer here. But I mean, me myself, and I'll say this to you because you're my son. Me myself, when I see you, I always call you my son. I myself, I think it's dangerous for me to be out in public and call anybody a trans anything. If I see you, when
Yeah,
I see you, I'm gonna call you Merrick. I'm gonna call you son. Period. Because I think calling somebody a trans anything, depending on where you are and the time and the place, it can be very dangerous because that could.
yeah, it can be very dangerous, but as an individual, I personally don't lead with my gender identity. Um, I lead with my blackness. I lead with my queerness, if you will, for lack of a better word. So there are some people that lead with their transness. I
Right.
mean, everybody has what they think is correct, but I don't lead with that because a lot of times when people find out you're transgender, they want to start calling you by the wrong pronouns, and it's just crazy. So I would suggest that people, in terms of advice on transition, make sure you're in a safe place and get therapy. Therapy is very important.
Yeah, because I know it's a lot of children and that's support that's very valid because I know people who do it and therapy is the last thing on their mind, and I think that becomes very detrimental to them because I've never been there, but I can see I think this process is very intense, and you have to be my thing. You have to be mentally and spiritually ready for this transition. It's not something you're just gonna wake up today and then tomorrow it's like, okay, I want to be this or I want
Okay,
to be that.
now hold on. Before we jump into that big time, let me clear out some of these comments for us, and let's get cut. You know, because like I said, people talking. They want to interact with you. So hold on.
All right, come on. Here we go. Y'all like my brush?
All right, here we go. Nikki saying, not at this house. Elena is working all day because I'm sitting right behind her every day talking about that homeschooling.
Okay, well, I know you
Yeah,
do different, Nikki.
Nikki said she loved the homeschooling. Okay, we have Daryl's in the house. What's going on, Daryl?
Hey, Daryl, how are you, dear?
Okay, let's see. Hold on. Work with me, y'all. We working out the kinks here. Okay, Coach V saying, speak, baby, speak. All right. Nikki says, send me a link. I got something to tell y'all real quick. You want Nikki to come on in the house with us?
Yeah, tell her come on in the house.
Okay,
We like, we like.
hold on, Nikki. We're gonna work all that out in a minute. Homeschooling is efficient, but the thing that most parents are focusing on with them are with them and some are at work. That still isn't an excuse. Goes back to the parents and discipline. Yeah, like I said, I definitely gonna get into some of that tomorrow. But basically, Daryl, what you're saying is that even though they're homeschooling, they still not getting properly taught because the parents basically plugging it in for them and going on about their business.
Yeah, I've seen quite a few parents who I'm like, why are you doing? I had a parent the other day say to me, I gotta call you back because I gotta finish my nephew. I gotta finish my nephew assignment. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about?
Right.
Are you telling me that you're actually doing it? So when this child comes out dumb as a damn door, now blame it on yourself. Why the hell are you doing your child's work?
Not,
And
not
my thing is, and then I'm like, and I know they're not thinking because I know damn well that you like, well, damn, last time you took a test, you only got two right. This time you took a test, you got all the bitches right. Now, how the hell that happened?
right. Okay. Meech is saying that WC3 is a HBCU, but it's not recognized as one. That's the school I was telling you about in Detroit. That's interesting. I didn't know that, Meech. Hold on. Coach is saying Michael does not give back to his HBCU. Michael Strahan. Yeah, that's another big thing. These people go to the HBCUs, but then they bump their head, forget where they came from. You see,
That sounds about right,
at all.
brother Merrick. Now I know what you were saying. Okay, well, I'm looking at him a
All
little
right.
differently now too.
No,
Thank you, Coach V.
Coach Vina also said the Cowboys ain't never playing shit.
Coach V, I'll catch you on Sunday. Don't play
Yeah,
with
yeah,
me.
y'all deal with that then. All right, Elaine, I'm not going to hold the cowgirl love against you. That's what
Ooh,
Nikki said
ooh,
that.
ooh, ooh. Oh, they trying me. They trying me in front of my child. The devil is a lie.
Okay, me saying I love Michael Strahan, but as a person, not the athlete, I don't follow sports. Yeah, we know that about you, Meech.
I do. I'm ready. I'm ready to go back to school and I'm gonna get a degree in communication. I'm gonna be a locker room goddamn. I'm play by play. Locker room play by play.
Okay,
They be
That
like
would be a
Helena, my
fun
eyes up
job.
here. They be
the
like
pastor
Helena,
that is
my eyes are up
so
here.
sad. Okay,
You
Meech is
should
saying
totally do
all
it.
that coin, the businesses do not take the hit. This is true. This is true. Okay, hold on. No, who said this? Oh yeah, Miss Pat saying yes, and getting the booty shots.
Well, there's also non-trans women that get booty shots too now.
Very
It's a
true.
thing.
But you
Okay,
know what? Let me tell you something. There are men. There are men who getting shots to beef up their pecs and their this and their that. I'm like, okay.
okay. Meet just saying we are speaking HBCUs, but what about the Divine Nine and transitioning? How are the sororities, fraternities adjusting to inclusion?
Well, you know what? That's a good question. I will say this, um, that there was a sorority that was uh, greatly chided for saying that they would not accept transgender women. They have reversed their position. And then there is a fraternity that has officially and unofficially banned trans men from joining. Now, it also depends on the policy of the organization because this is very new for some people in these organizations. I don't know if how can I say this, if they're prepared to meet the new world. Because I see it like this. So, right now, you got kids that are transitioning at 7, 8, and 9 years old. By the time they got to college at 18, they've lived 9 years as who they are. How you going to tell them you can't join X because you're not a boy because you were assigned female at birth? That's a lawsuit right there, especially if you're going to a predominantly white college that has a non-discrimination clause. So my advice, unsolicited, is tread lightly and tread carefully.
Mm, mm, mm. It is. We as a society, we have we sometimes I think every time I think we're moving forward, we take 20 damn steps backwards.
Right. Okay. Meech is also saying those who do not undergo therapy are usually those who are really not trans. They are caught up in the attention, the perks garner.
Well, I wouldn't say that because I mean at this point people are self-identifying as trans and there's different types of trans people. But I will say that it's hard if you've been socialized one way based on your assignment at birth. Transitioning can be a very daunting process. It's helpful to go to a mental health professional to deal with the myriad of unpredictable situations that on a dime your life could be in peril. Like for instance, I was somewhere earlier in my transition and somebody was like, "Hey, I know you." And I was like, "Really? How?" And then they I knew who the person was. I was just buying time. So when they said that and they was like, "You're a blank," I was like, and then I had to leave because I felt like my life was in danger. That was unsolicited. You know what I'm saying? But because I go to therapy and I have mentors, I was able to reach out to somebody and kind of get my mind right around the situation and make a safety decision for myself. So that's why I think therapy is a good thing.
Well, I mean myself. I think therapy is a good thing, and I think therapy is a very important part of the process. Period. I don't know. This is just my opinion. I ain't no expert on it or nothing like that. But I just think therapy is a very important part of that process, as well as getting a serious mentor. You know what I'm saying? And then you got to be, I mean, in anything, you have to be careful with mentors because, sometimes you might think you getting somebody as a mentor. Next thing you know, they trying to fuck you.
That I will say that I've heard numerous stories from LGBTQ world that backs up your assertions.
Okay,
Hmm.
hold on. Coach V got a question for you. He said, "What was your transition?"
I am I am a transgender man, which means that I was assigned female at birth.
All right. Well, I was assigned. We'll talk about that later after
I know where you're
dark.
going, H2. I know where you're going with that. Keep in mind, H2's unofficial title is the Secretary of Trade. So,
Yeah, I'm the Secretary of Trade, honey, but I'm the only Secretary of Trade that's still a virgin, honey. How about that? And then let's talk about that. The Secretary of Trade and I'm a virgin. You got a problem with that? Okay.
okay, we got another one. Israel saying, "I feel you. Should respect people the way they prefer to be identified as." Absolutely.
But then
Absolutely.
my thing is that it becomes, unfortunately, and we have to be real about this. A lot of people identify people by the way that they present them to them. Like I will always identify my son as my son because he identify. When I see him, he always identifies to me that he's my son. Plain and simple.
Okay, so see that brings up a good point though, H2, because people do get confused at times as to okay, this person on the one hand is saying this, but on the other hand is saying that. So how do I address them? What is the proper title?
You ask them what they want to be called. You could also say, "Hey, my name is Dan, and my pronouns are he and him. What's your name?" And then that's when you give license to people to be themselves.
Well, my name is Helene, and my pronoun was him, her, and what the fuck ever. Okay. Y'all know what I do, bitch. Don't play with it, lay with it, honey. Okay.
And there it is.
So, Merrick, now in your
Hmm.
bio, you wrote. Well, y'all didn't see it, but well, I guess y'all kind of did if y'all read the page. What I'm trying to get all y'all to do is start going on my page and reading the bios of the people instead of me on my after dark and have to tell you. And that's another way to get people to visit my page.
Okay, well,
But
keep talking. I'm gonna try to find that right quickly. I'll work it out. Go ahead.
what is how was it being ordained the very first in the old Catholic transmit? How was that process?
Well, I started my journey in ministry before I transitioned.
I know, son. I
Yes,
met you at the portal years and years and
years
years.
ago.
Okay,
Yes.
let me
So,
read. Let me read it for y'all. Okay, Brother
uh
Mary
huh.
is an ordained old Catholic priest, Benedict monk, writer, community activist, and teacher living in Baltimore, Maryland. This native New Yorker is a graduate of Morgan State University with a Bachelor's of Science degree in psychology and a minor in Spanish language. Brother Merrick was one of the first black trans men ordained within the old Catholic movement in Baltimore. All right, there we
All
go.
right.
Yeah. So my journey toward ordination took place long before my transition. But at any rate, I didn't realize the history until somebody was like, "Hey, you might be one of the first or the first." And I
Mhm.
never thought about it because when I think of ministry, I don't necessarily think of myself in history or anything like that. What I think about is how to minister to the people.
Right. So what is your what but you know my thing is the thing that I deal with by me being who I am. You know, I like to use fancy words. You know, some people call me a drag queen. I'm a female illusionist, honey. I'm classy. I'm the secretary of trade, and I'm a female illusionist. I'm not dragging nothing, honey, but maybe your boyfriend. But anywho, um, it's crazy because like I said, I remember you way back when, and you know, and I have to sometimes I have to catch myself because I keep on telling myself that I've known you much longer on the other side. So sometimes I don't do it as disrespect because let's say hypothetically I've known you 20 years on the other side and it's just 5 years on. So it's not disrespect on my behalf. It's just that me becoming used to you being my whole entire damn son.
And you know what? You bring up a good point because when people don't realize when a person transitions, the people in their life also have to transition, and
Right.
that may require some patience. It also requires some cojones too.
Yeah, yeah, and that's a good point that I'm glad you brought up because people have to realize that the transition is not just for you. The transition is for the people who are close to you, the people who interact with you every day, because they have to be able to, like with me. I remember one time I made a mistake up at the GLCCB, and it's what you know, with the pronouns. And the woman's like, "Well, you know what? He likes to be called." I said, "Girl, first of all, let me explain something to you. I know what the hell he liked to be called. Don't fucking play with me." I said, "I know what he liked to be called." I said, "But it was a mistake because you have to realize I've known my son longer than most of you've known him."
They they thought I was one of the children like that.
Yeah, I'm like, no. I
Yeah.
mean, are you still the president of GLCCB?
I'm transitioning out of that position as of next month, which begins tomorrow. And so we're gonna have a change of leadership on the board because we go in 2-year terms. So my
Oh,
term
okay,
is
okay.
up.
All right,
Hmm.
hold on, hold on. We got a couple of people addressing the room here. Let me see. I believe this is Meech. He's
Hmm.
saying, I agree. However, as a showgirl, I've seen many a girl who are caught up in being fishy and have allowed the journey of trans women on the show to take them into hormones and transitioning without proper care. Same as the back alley hormones and pumping parties.
Yeah, and the sad part about it is they have been doing that for years, and unfortunately, people don't pay attention to all the ones who came before them and did the same thing, and half of them are 6 feet under now.
Okay, Coach V
Yeah.
wants to know from Merrick, how long did
Mhm.
it take you to realize that you wanted to be a man, and how does your family take your transition?
Um, I knew that I was masculine or wanted to be male from my childhood, so I would probably say between um 4 to 7. I figured out that I was different. I was always masculine as a child, and sometimes people thought I was a boy at the time. So, but it took me a long time to get over my internalized angst around my gender. It took therapy. I mean, I started therapy in terms of this journey in 2011, but I transitioned in 2014 at the age of 40. So I had a
Wow.
lot of time to think about it. I had the means to transition medically. Some people don't have the means to do that, or their health may not permit the hormones and things of that nature.
Right,
So,
right.
it wasn't anything I took lightly or, yeah, let me just do this. No, there is a lot of work and thought that came about. I had to do a lot of internal work.
And see, my
But
thing is, like you just said, the thing to me was that, and then, you know, people in doing your work, you have to do work and make sure that all the things that you're getting to do the transition is not going to counteract anything that you're already taking, any medicines, things like that. But people just, and I applaud you because you actually did your homework. and a lot of people don't. Even the girls in the show world, you know, they want these big old boobs and blah blah blah, and they get mad at me, and I tell them, I say, well, baby, you are my trans sister, and I don't consider you a drag queen. I consider you an entertainer, because the way that I look at it, a drag queen is a man, a whole man that's trying to be a woman. And I don't, and I think it's kind of like it does a disservice to them as being a transgender woman, and also does a disservice to a drag queen. Because, you know, my problem is with that is I still to this day, I have men hit me up on Facebook thinking, I say, look, I am a whole damn man, from my rooter to my damn tutor. Don't let them pictures fool you.
You know, this is the thing, right? So we live in a country full of sexually repressed and gender repressed people,
Mm-hmm.
and it's amazing to me how people um are really squeamish about gender. And I think that one of the things around certain trans folks is they don't have the means to transition medically.
Right.
Um, and it's very hard. And so when they see an opportunity to have a procedure that may not be medically sound, they'll do it. But this is the issue too, that people are not educated in that, and their dysphoria. And so dysphoria is when your idea of yourself in terms of your gender of here doesn't match the outside. And it can cause
Right.
great
Right.
angst. So
Mm-hmm.
when you have that angst, it can drive you to do things that may be harmful. And there are people that are so desperate to be their authentic selves, they will go through this. That's why it's important to have a mentor, have a network, have a mentor, at least one or two friends that you can count on to help you, and then you'll pick up friends along the way. Some trans kids have committed suicide because they just could not bear the pain of not being their authentic selves. Which is why, again, I'm always talking about therapy and support groups too. If you can't get a therapist, find a support group that you could go to. Um, you know, I know in trans man world we have different networks that we can go to, and different support places that we can go to. So, you know, I just wish that everybody would get the health care they need.
You know, and I think, but you said that the transition is a long drawn out process, and is important for to their identity. But I also think that they need to realize that, yes, that mentor is very important, because you also have to realize we have children who are committing suicide, who and they do it because they begin to transition, and their family totally kick their asses to the curb, and they didn't have anywhere to go or anything to do. And you know, it's I don't know. I mean, my
That's
transition,
real.
you know, it's like, and that's why it's important to have those networks. Because, like I told y'all on my show, I mean, I'm not, I'm okay with it now. Like when I was sexually assaulted in the workplace by a male, of course, I almost had a panic attack, because all night I spent all night on the phone trying to call a helpline that could assist me with being sexually violated in the workplace by a man. And everybody said, oh, we don't have hotlines like that. We only have hotlines that's female on male or male on female. I'm like, what the fuck is going
I
on?
mean, as a victim advocate, I see that a lot. So when we talk about intimate partner violence, or we talk about violence, like you just stated, there are not a lot of resources for men, and that's a problem because men also get victimized.
And men get victimized by damn women. So don't think that when you think of domestic violence, it's always a man on a woman, because it's a fact. People don't want to pay attention to, but there are men who are on the other side of the domestic violence.
In my work, I have definitely met men who were abused by women.
Mm,
And
mm,
it
mm.
and it's sad because a lot of times people don't take them seriously. But abuse is abuse, whether it's by the hand of a woman or hand of a man.
Well, let me tell you,
Abuse
Merk,
is abuse.
when I brought that to the attention of the guy who was in charge of the facility, or whatever you want to call it, I ain't gonna do. He said to me, "Well, oh, he's never done this before. The fuck is you talking about?" I'm sitting here telling you what happened to me, and your first damn response to me is, "Oh, he's never done it." I don't give a fuck what he's haven't done before, but guess what? He did it this time. I'm not worrying about the shoulda, woulda, couldas. I'm worrying about what the fuck happened now. So the first thing they went into was naturally hush mode, because they were a federally granted agency. So if something like that would get to the forefront, they would snap. So the first thing they started to do was started talking hush money. I'm like, here we go with this.
Okay. All right. We got a couple more comments here, y'all. I have a friend that was assigned as a male at birth. Sometimes my friend could be a man one week and a woman the next week. I respect my friend the way that my friend wants to be identified that week. It is humane to do so. So it's not confusing. It is about respect. That's Israel that made that comment. And Meech says that let me ask this, because as a gay man who has been out for 36 years,
woo, you old.
How are we all adjusting to this new way of introducing? Hi, my name is, and my pronouns are. And for my hetero allies, does it bother you or does it come across as extra? Okay, let me say my piece right here, and then y'all go from there. I mean, basically, as a person who's still learning about that side of the coin, so to speak, I basically go with what you go with. Like, for example, with you, Meet, I understand you identify as both, and depending on where the conversation is going, I identify you as both. But in the same token, because I know you first as a male, more times than not, I identify you as a male. But I guess it depends on who you're talking to, and I basically go off the vibe of what that person is going off of.
Right. And also too, I'm not saying that you should always lead with that. Hi, my name is X and these are my pronouns. But I'm saying when you are in a space where you may not know how the person identifies, you may want to say that. So I think also too that the community is evolving. You got so many young people coming up nowadays that are so many different genders. And so it's something to get used to, but we got to grow into it as a community.
Yeah, I understand that. Okay, hold on. We got another comment here. Oh no, went there already. Hold on. Some people refuse to call people what they identify as. Sadly true. We must recognize the difference between adoration and being a fetish. Most times people are idolizing trans persons and or gender emulation as a fetish, not a person. Okay, hold on. Let me see who said that. Yeah, that was Meech that said that. Any comments?
Yeah, you do have you do have people that have a fetish for trans people.
And
That
see,
is
my
a
thing,
thing.
my thing is that the thing that gets me is that even though I'm Helena and Helena is, for whatever reason, this is what they gave me. I don't give myself titles because I think when people give you titles, they give you a title on Monday, then on Tuesday they try and snatch the bitch right away from you. So I don't get into all that. But I have always identified, even as, because we know next month, I mean in January, Helena will be actually 22 years old. But I've always identified as a male. I've never identified as a female. Now, don't get me wrong. I know I have people who will call me ma'am or whatever, and I'm fine with that. You know what I'm saying? I'm fine with that. Like I have some people, like I told y'all before, I have some people who don't even know. I have a lot of people who don't even know my male name. Now, see, they will identify me as she, but that's their thing. I identify myself as he with a little twist.
You know what? Billy D. Williams recently came out as, I
Right.
wouldn't
Oh
say
my God.
non-binary, but he acknowledges that he has two sides to himself, and he says that sometimes I go by she. Now, remember, Billy D. Williams was one of the epitomes of masculinity back in the day. So I
Right.
think it says a lot about who we are evolving as a people. That
Right.
he felt comfortable to say that.
Now see, I don't have a problem with being, if somebody calls me she when I'm in geisha or whatever. So I have some people like I tell you, like some of my children. Some of my children call me daddy and some of them call me mommy. and I have no problem with that. And I'm okay with it. But the thing is that in doing that, unfortunately, on this side of the track, me being who I am, there's so many stereotypes that come with me being Helena. For example, I'm Helena. I'm a drag queen. Oh, so I must be a bottom. Boop. Ooh, girl, good question. Right church, wrong pew, honey. We all in the same church, honey. But you sitting on the pew to the left, bitch. I'm sitting on the pew to the right, girl. All the way.
Okay, now let me ask you this. Okay, for a person like myself, like I said, I'm getting to know a lot of people in the alphabet community, and y'all some of the greatest people I've met in quite some time, to be quite honest. So I don't, when it comes to your sexual orientation, they ain't got nothing to do with that. We people, we cool, we fam, and I love it. But of course, you will get the backlash from people who'll say, okay, why you friends with that so and so and so? We're not gonna use them terms here because we don't have that disrespect. But
right.
What is your thought process on people like myself that have people who are in the alphabet community, and we just cool?
I think that we all need each other, particularly also just as Black people. We don't really have time to discriminate against each other. If we have not noticed the time is these white folks are consolidating their power. This is what it is. It's a power game. And we don't have time to be disrespectful to one another because these people mean us no good. If the last 4 years has taught us anything, it
Amen.
taught us that we need to be unified.
And we need to be united on the whole front. See, and this is what I said yesterday, and I want people to realize. I'm gonna bring it up again because every once in a while, God just give me some things that people just need to realize. That all boils down to us as individually being evenly balanced. We need balance in our life, period. And a lot of times we allow people and people who not even. Let me see. I don't want to use the wrong word. People who are not like that with us to throw us off balance. Like I know for a fact, like I say, I know for a fact the downside to being a female illusionist is, dating for me is like, and I'm gonna ask you that too, Merrick. Dating for me is almost like out of the question because I'll have men who either want to date Derek or want to date Helena, but don't want to, but you can't get one without the other. I'm sorry, boo. You cannot get Helena without Derek, and you can't get Derek without fucking Helena. That's just not going to happen. But I've actually had men who actually wanted to take Helena out for. Helena don't do that. When Helena go out, Helena goes out for gigs and gigs only. Now I have nothing against people who do that. That's your thing, but that's. And plus, if you took me out, I can guarantee you, ain't nobody around here got no pockets deep enough to take the Secretary of Trade out for dinner. I'm trying to tell you. So
okay, hold on. I got a couple comments. Coach V said, "Good night, y'all. Love the show. I want to say this young man is very proud of you. Keep doing what you're doing in your journey in life. And Helena, you are an amazing woman. And I'm sorry you're a Cowboy fan. Good night."
How you gonna say that just before you leave the ad? I'm sorry you're a Cowboy. Oh, by the way, good night. I'm gonna get you, Coach V.
Like I said, Sunday, 12 p.m. You better.
We're gonna get you.
Remember, Coach V gonna be on my show Wednesday, and we're gonna.
Oh well, I'll be there too. So, Merrick, how is dating for you?
It's better now, but when I first in the earlier part of my transition was very difficult.
Mm-hmm.
And I had an orientation expansion. So as a bisexual man, it can be difficult because a lot of sisters don't trust bisexual men. But see, my philosophy is if I'm telling you up front that I'm bisexual, then there's nothing to hide.
So
You know what I'm saying?
the problem is not you at all. The problem is the person who you're telling it to.
Right. But I believe in keeping it 100. Why should I
Right,
lie? And I think,
I mean,
yeah,
and
yeah,
that's just like me.
yeah, a lot of these black bisexual men are forced underground because they have had adverse reactions or they fear adverse reactions when they are honest about who they are.
Yeah, and I feel that because it's the whole climate has changed because I don't know how, because now you actually have lesbian, suppose I don't. Y'all, if I say it wrong, y'all forgive me, goddamn it. Y'all know I just say what the hell come out my head sometimes and don't think. But now you actually have lesbian women dating trans men, and vice
Yes.
versa. You have gay men dating trans women.
Yes.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I mean, it's a new world, and I think
I
that
know, son. You ain't got to tell me like that. You know I'm sensitive. I wear dresses. Shit.
it's a brave new world. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But I also have to remind people that just because a lesbian dates a trans man doesn't mean that she gives up her identity. Because
Right, right,
there are people, you know what I'm saying? So she could be a lesbian who just happens to be attracted to this trans guy, as opposed
right,
to that being her orientation
right,
when she
right.
identifies as a lesbian.
Miss Pat is saying exactly. The family aren't accepting that person. That is wrong. That's how people commit suicide,
But
That is
see,
how
one,
people commit suicide.
especially
one,
now when the laws are set up to cater to women. Men have been abused often, but are punked out by other men if they are seen as soft. That's what
Yes,
but,
Meach said.
so
but see, you know
that's
what?
so
Let me say
true.
this to y'all. Let me say this to y'all. Let me say this to y'all. What people need to realize, see, I'm ready to go. Y'all better get ready because I'm ready to take y'all somewhere that some of y'all might not even come back. But let me tell you this. If you are comfortable in your own self and your own sexuality, who the fuck what the fuck I am ain't got shit to do with you. Why? If you are a man or you're a female and you're comfortable in who you are, why this little gay boy? Why do you feel this little gay boy is a damn threat to you? You're a straight man. You're off limits to me. Why is you feeling uncomfortable? I don't want you. Now, if you stick a lead in my
And then
pocket, I might
Betty,
see you after the show. But anyway,
yeah, that's something else. That's something else. I feel like people who had this um obsession with uh lesbian and gay and trans people, I feel like they have repressed sexual stuff going on.
I
Because why do you care so much about what somebody else is doing in their bed? That doesn't impact you.
I think the same thing, and I'm like, okay, baby, you try, and you know my thing in my 55 years of living, I always made it a point. I told people all the time, and all my children know this. It's not my job to out any damn body. That's not my job. That's not my mo. That's not what I'm here to do. If you tell me that you are a heterosexual male, I'm going to respect you as that until you give me other reasons to believe otherwise. And one of the reasons that make me believe otherwise, if you knock on my door and you come into my vehicle. Well, then you're no longer a heterosexual man, honey. You may be bisexual or trisexual, but you ain't heterosexual. Okay.
Okay, hold on. Okay, Meach is saying the introduction piece is being embraced by the entire alphabet community, as I'm seeing it in many of the profiles on social media and on many discussion programs. The question would be, as the world and language is, are those of us who are of a certain age willing to accept it? In other words, it's people's old school way of thinking more so issue of it than anything else. Because yeah, I feel like people who are younger are more accepting of the alphabet community than us older people that were taught by our parents and grandparents that being gay or lesbian, what have you, is just basically a sin and you shouldn't do it.
But see, my thing is before you say something, my thing is this. People have to realize I'm 55 years young, and they have to realize when I was coming up, before, especially in this community, when I was coming up, you was either one of three things. You was a faggot, a punk, or a goddamn sissy. They wasn't even calling you gay back then. You was either a faggot, a punk, or a sissy. And if you was a girl, they didn't even give you a nice one. They called you a damn dyke, period. So all this other stuff has come along, and we all noticed that a lot of kids, I think it is safe, but it's not safe. But a lot of kids are coming out a lot earlier than what they used to. Because back in my day, you always had a couple of them that was just going to be out no matter what. But people like me, I know when I was coming up, I was one of those people who used to run around and taunt the damn little sissies at school, and all at the same time I knew I was just as big as sissies as what the fuck they were. But that was the thing to do at the time because it wasn't feasible I'll say it like that. It wasn't feasible. I didn't come out till I was almost fucking 30. And that's why I tell people all the time, it is very important that we as a people get back to the village, raising help you raising a child and the extended family. We as black people, we as African Americans have always had an extended family. How many of us had an uncle such and such and an aunt so and so, and you know damn well they wasn't related to anybody in your damn family.
Very true. Your play cousin, your play
right,
and all that.
Or your father would say, well, this is on so-and-so, and all at the same time, undercover. Only thing he really saying is, this is on so-and-so, this is somebody I'm fucking. But I'm not going to tell you that this is on so-and-so, and this is Uncle John. But you don't look like no damn uncle of mine. Because I know for me, huh?
I said, or how the gay people in the family bring their lovers, and they be like, this is my friend.
Right,
but the
right.
That you know, it's a little bit more than friend. Exactly.
But see, and that's sad, because I think we should be at a point where I can go somewhere and say, this is my partner, this is my lover. But depending on where you are and who you're with will determine your actions. Then that's really sad.
Yeah, because safety is first.
There you go. And we have to think of safety first. And like my son said, and I'm so proud of him, is that I have no problem. I know for a fact, at least 3 or 4 times a day, I have men hitting me up. Boo, listen, I'm a whole damn man. Thank you for your compliment. I look at my pictures on Facebook every day. I don't know if you, and a friend of mine said, well, maybe you shouldn't tell. No, bitch, I'm talking about my life. I'm not talking about your life. You need to know. Helena is a whole damn man. I'm not getting in no shit with nobody say, oh, well, I thought, no, nigga, I'm a man. And if you take time to read my profile, it says, Helena Hologram is my stage name. I live my life as Derek. But people, that's with anything. People just see pictures. Once they see pictures, they ain't gonna read shit.
Okay, hold on.
That's true.
Meet chiming in. He's saying the spectrum of sexuality is very vast, and even though we teach it, the world is not preparing itself to accept it. And he's also saying that why do you care about my bedroom, especially when you don't have an invitation to be there? Get out of my bedroom and stay in yours. If I ain't asking about what you're doing, don't ask about mine, because you are not ready for the answer.
That's the same thing you said, son. That's the same thing you said. And my
America
thing is
a very sexually repressed place. This is why you got people crusading around stuff that is none of their business.
Right, and that's sad, because you know what? And let's look at it. Let's look at it. That's almost like back in the day that most African American artists, if they wanted to get really noticed, they had to go overseas. Most of us can go overseas and get more respect fucking overseas, being who we really fucking are, than we can in our own goddamn country that we helped build.
How about that?
Look at Josephine Baker. Josephine Baker was more popular over in Europe than she was in fucking America.
Very true.
Yeah.
Nikki's saying bulldagger was the nastiest word for a woman.
It was.
Yeah.
But that was what they was called. I mean, you have to keep in mind that just recently, even though it's still derogatory, just recently, within the last 15 to 20 years, just recently they started acknowledging that there were a lot of feminine lesbians. You know, back then they thought all lesbians had to be Diesel Dykes, they had to be these mannish life, you know, and I guess that's one way that, and I'm not saying this derogatory, this is just my thing. I guess that's one way that, as I call them, some of the lipstick lesbians get underneath the radar, because everybody's so used to lesbian being supposed to be dominant and supposed to be man acting, blah, 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 blah. But my thing is that even like with being a gay man, we come in all shapes, sizes, and different attributes to our life, but we're all, you know, under that one umbrella. And the sad thing about it is, I've noticed that we get more back. Yeah, come on here, somebody. Now, and I don't care if y'all don't agree with me. That's why it's my goddamn show, and I'm gonna say what the hell I want. You know, we get more backlash and bullshit from our own damn community than we do the fucking outside community, and that's fucking sad.
Yeah, I have a philosophy that the black community needs to be safe for black people, for all black people.
All black people, not 1, not 2, not 3. It needs to be safe for all black people. But it's sad, but in that safety, we have a responsibility too. Just like you said, just like I said, my responsibility is to let you know I am not a woman. Your responsibility is I'm a bisexual, trans man. But my thing is, it's like a catch-22 because you're fucking damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. So if you don't tell, if you don't tell somebody their mouth open, when you tell somebody, they're like, oh, well, really? First of all, let me tell you something. I know you can look, check out the net. It's a whole damn Adam's apple right there. Don't fucking play with me.
Okay, Nikki is saying to be an alphabet children parent is an important job that I take so seriously. Not only to my own children, but to any children who don't have support from their blood family.
It's you know what I'm gonna say it like this: the extended family has saved a lot of lives. And listen to what I'm saying to you. The extended family has saved a lot of lives. Do you hear me? That's why I'm doing something with my ex-wife because we're trying to do something in America. My son is gonna help me with because we're trying to get transitional housing for the alphabet community who may have drug problems. You can guess what? It's not safe for a gay person or a trans person that have drug and alcohol problems to go in a regular goddamn drug and alcohol treatment because it's just dangerous as fucking hell. So then we got to make the other effort that like American attest to this. I don't understand why they don't have fucking homeless shelters for the trans community as well as the gay community.
For years, people have been working on trying to get housing for homeless, queer, and trans folks, and it has not happened yet.
But I'm like, but I'm thinking that if we really put our ears to the ground, a lot of things with these grants, you gotta go around the grants because a lot of grants now you tell people that you're doing safer sex grants or whatever. I know people get hundreds of thousands of dollars for that. And the only thing they're doing is passing out condoms and dental dams. They're meeting the requirements. But I'm like, how do we write a grant for housing for our LGBT QGX, VYZ, WXYZ, HIJK element? Yeah.
There are 16 letters now, I've heard.
Are you serious?
Yeah, there's 16. LGBTQ IAAA PP 2S and maybe K.
Wow.
Ended up with a plus. With the plus sign.
That's why I'm going.
That's why it's LGBTQ plus because of all
right.
That,
okay. Well,
alphabet children work.
I'll do the plus. Somebody asked me that. They said, "What does that plus mean?" I said, "You know what? That plus means every motherfucking body else. The ones we didn't name in the first couple of letters, that means everybody else." So
says, do not ask me, then want to punish me because you didn't like my answer, or it's because I ignored you. And he also says, correction, Helena Hologram is a woman. She's not female.
Oh, well, all right. I'm a whoa. Yeah, because when somebody see me, they be like, whoa, that's a man. So, Merrick, how is your first of all, I need you to explain to me, what is Old Catholic?
Okay, so the Old Catholic Church broke away from the Roman Catholic Church during the Vatican I councils in the 1870s over the doctrine of papal infallibility. We do not believe that the Pope is infallible.
Okay. So that's almost like back in the day when most churches found something that wasn't feasible to them. I'm like the AME when then they broke off into the Methodists and broke off. But I wanted to know that because that's yeah. I mean, yeah, you can still maintain being a Catholic without being a Roman Catholic. I'm quite sure there's more as but y'all
there are more Catholic churches, and we don't usually hear about those churches, but they're different. They're definitely different Catholic churches.
Oh wow! Now see, that's why I say people need to be on that platform because that platform I've always looked at Catholic as Roman Catholics. I never until I read your profile, son. I never even knew that there was Old Catholic and New Catholic and Next week Catholic and this week. I never knew that. When I always think of Catholic, I always automatically think of Roman Catholic.
Yeah, I mean, there's Arab Catholics
Oh wow.
that have their own Catholic orders,
Hmm.
Maronite Catholics. There's different Catholics all over the world. It's
Oh,
I liken the Roman Church as McDonald's. There's one on every corner.
right, right. Most definitely. One on every corner. Everybody golden arches ain't always lit, honey. Ooh.
All right. Nikki is saying no. We just have to learn how to write the grants, and I know someone who can help us with the grant writing.
Oh well,
There
you
you
know it, honey,
go.
And
that
Mickey
I'm here
saying,
for it.
please don't get me started with those damn letters. Who is the gatekeeper who keeps adding the letters?
I
Where was
have a
the memo?
theory that,
Can we fucking
yeah,
wrote
right.
some letters?
I have a theory that people get money for adding letters. Cause okay, so the big debate right now is K stands for king. So they want to include that in the letters. But
Why?
but I guess it's money. But I'm like, and most queer and trans people I've talked to say that kink is not in sexual orientation.
It's not. That's
So
just
it
shit that you
shouldn't,
like to do.
yeah, and straight
Okay,
people can be kinky.
hold on. Heterosexual person that don't understand what is kink?
Kink is,
You better
okay,
be
50
ready.
Shades of Grey. You know 50 Shades of Grey? That's
That's
kink.
key. Mhm.
Ah,
You want to know what else, King? When you look at my show next week, the first show next week. Remember, I told you I'm actually having somebody on my show that's from the leather community.
okay.
Yes, that's
B-
kink.
BDSM.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
all that. That's not an identity. That's a damn preference. I mean, that's something that you like to do sexually. That has nothing to do with you know what they
And
just you know what something
me and Nick always want to know who was the person who gets to add the letters.
I'm going to say it's got to be some people, Yale, Harvard, some school somewhere, that get money to add these letters. It's a lot. Because the three A's can be asexual, allies, aromantic, agender. It's a lot. It's a lot. And under the trans umbrella are many identities too. So you have female to male trans people, you have male to female trans people, you have non-binary people, you have gender non-conforming people. Sometimes people put cross dressers in there. I don't particularly do, but some people do. So there's a lot of nuance to this.
Okay. I think it's because because the basically the lesbian gay community, they are excluded from a lot of things. I think they're just trying to be as inclusive as possible. So that's why all these different variations and what come into play.
Oh, that's true. We always want to make the tent bigger.
Yep. Okay. Helena, she is having some issues. We still here, Helena. We got to roll until you work out your technical over there. Okay. So yeah, basically we are talking this evening on Hey Bitches Live. This is not Get Off My Lawn Live. This is Hey Bitches Live. We have some technical difficulties with Helena Hologram's page, so we have switched the show over to my information page. So for y'all of you looking for my show will be on tomorrow at 8:30 p.m. But right now we're doing Hey Bitches Live, and we are talking to our guest Merrick Moses, who is a transgender, and we're basically learning a lot about transgender community and life in general. We've also been talking about HBCUs. Merrick Morse also is a graduate of a HBCU. So if you have any questions in regards to that, feel free to chime in and ask. Meanwhile, like I said, we wait for Helena to get back on in here. Having some technical difficulties, but we're gonna hold the show down until we can get her to pop back in the building.
Hmm.
So, okay, give us a little more info about your overall background. Like I said, you graduated from the HBCU, and what was your journey after that?
I went home for 5 years and I worked as a child protective service worker and a journalist. And then
Okay,
I
and
came
where
back.
where is home for you?
Home is New York City. So I was born in Brooklyn but raised in Queens. So Queens is kind of home. And I went back home after I graduated. I stayed for 5 years, and then I came back to Baltimore in 2001, and I've been here ever since.
Gotcha, gotcha. Okay, we having some technical stuff going on here. Like I said, this is Hey Bitches. Get off my lawn to be back tomorrow. But Hey Bitches is here tonight. Meanwhile, Helena's having a little problem on her end again. So what we're gonna do right now, we're gonna take this quick commercial break, try to get her back in the room to finish the show. Right now we got Hey Bitches, but this is my commercial for Get Off My Lawn Live that will be on tomorrow, 8:30 p.m. Here we go. All right, guys, we are back, and I do believe. There we go.
I'm back.
All right.
All right.
All right. You know I love y'all. So
If you was back in the building, do your
Eric,
thing.
we have any more? Merrick, I wanted to ask you how was your but I'm not asking this for me because I already know the answer because like I say, I've known you since you was knee high to a grasshopper. But anywho,
Yeah.
how was your how do you deal with people connecting your faith to your sexuality?
I embrace that because I feel that my sexuality and my gender identity are gifts from God. So they have already been reconciled in Jesus Christ.
I know that's right. Say that one more time and say it slow so everybody in the back can hear you.
I view my sexuality and my gender identity as gifts from God, and they've all been reconciled in Christ.
So in other words, you're saying it's very rarely will you ever get in an argument over your relationship with your God.
Yeah, I stopped doing that because people would try to bait and goat people
Yeah.
into those arguments, but it's futile because ultimately my salvation is my relationship with the Lord. You don't have no parts in it. That's what people forget.
You know, I tell people all the time, I said, look, let me explain something to you. I say, you Bible thumpers, y'all go right here and y'all use that wonderful old scripture. You know, God knows everything, every hair on your head. You know your time that you was gonna come, your time you're gonna die. So you gonna tell me God knew all that? He didn't know I was gonna be a little sister. Shut the hell! You don't even make sense.
It
God knows
don't.
every hair that I have on my head. He knew the time that I was gonna be born. He knew the time that I'm gonna expire. But He's not wise enough to know that I was gonna be a gay man in the life that He created for me.
Exactly.
I don't do all that. Like I told them on the other show. I've been called out in churches by I've been called out in churches for my sexuality by people who I know for a fact that I slept with 2 weeks ago. How the hell you gonna call me out in front of your? But I understood that you did that to safeguard yourself because
Yep.
like I say, my thing is it's not my job to out anybody. So when you did that and you brought my sexual preference to the forefront in your church. Now, if I was that little sissy that I was way back then, I could say, and that's fine. Yes, I'm gay, and apparently you were gay or bisexual because I was just over your house last night. I know what your grandmother bedroom looked like, honey.
Miss Pat said exactly.
You know, I don't. And it took me a while to get here because, like I tell people, when you become totally comfortable with who you are, what other motherfuckers think about you? Guess what? Like my grandma used to say, honey, what the hell Eric eat ain't gonna make me shit. You know, and I'm not telling you, I'm telling you, and I tell people this all the time. You don't necessarily have to like my choice of life. No, you don't. But one thing you will do is you always will respect my choice. And that's why it's called my choice. And I can do a lot of things, but I don't do disrespect. I don't care who you are. I don't do disrespect.
One thing that I think is ironic is that some of these evangelical churches have
Come on.
exorcisms for the homosexual spirit, but why isn't there any exorcism for racism? What happened to that? Why can't we have an exorcism for the racist spirit, which is actually killing people?
Right. Well, why aren't they exercising people? You know, but then you're gonna turn around and tell me that you this, you that, but you're gonna turn around and have 17 wives. I mean, you want to get to the Bible? I mean, we can do the Bible a little bit. I mean, the Bible do say. I mean, I don't always agree with the Bible. Do say that marriage means supposedly is one man and one woman. It didn't say one man and 17 women. So technically, I say people just use the Bible to their advantage, and they take parts out of scriptures that they want to use. But see, I'm like you, Merrick. I don't argue with people anymore because I am very comfortable with my relationship with my God, and you don't have to understand it because you ain't got no heaven or hell to put me in.
Right.
I refuse to sit up in somebody's church paying my tithes and offering every Sunday, and every other Sunday you're damning every homosexual to hell. That doesn't make God. You know what? That don't make sense. I'm not gonna sit in your church giving you my tithes and my offering every other Sunday. You talking about, oh, you're a homosexual and you going to hell. But guess what? If I'm gonna go to hell, I might as well take all my money with me, honey, because they don't need to be giving you nothing. The hell.
I call that spiritual malpractice when people get up and say all those things.
Thank you. Thank you.
You know your super fan said, that's Miss Pat, of course. I bet not hear no one disrespect you.
I know I have a lot of people like that, but you know, I've been blessed to be able to deal with it. And I've been blessed to be able to deal with it better now in the last 4.5 to 5 years because I'm no longer drinking. Oh, honey, back in the day when I used to drink, I was just that bitch. I'm trying to tell you, I was just that bitch. Now I'm just a bitch. I'm not that bitch. Now I'm just a bitch. You know. But no, and for me, like I tell people, my sobriety is different probably than most people because mine was totally cold turkey. It wasn't a level for me. I just woke up one day and say that chapter in my life is done. I didn't go to AA. I didn't go to any of that. It was between me and God. But I don't tell anybody to go the same route that I went because everybody can't go that route.
Right.
You know, I don't want nobody to try to go that route and then you fall off the boat after you done tried to go cold turkey after 2 days. That route is not for everybody. It has to be a personal thing. And considering that I still perform in clubs around, and people, oh well, should we not, girl? Serving your liquor is making you money, girl. I'm not gonna drink. If I'm a drink, it ain't got nothing to do with me being here. I'm comfortable, and I know that most of my shows are in bars, and it doesn't bother me. I sit back now and I look at people getting drunk, and I'm like, bitch, you should be the same way. So I can't get mad at them. It's a personal thing.
Absolutely.
And people who try to use the Bible don't even know the whole Bible or any of the other books, but always trying to preach.
Yeah, I don't. You know what? There was a saying that people used to say a while ago, and I hold it near and dear to my heart. Some people are so heavenly bound, they ain't no damn earthly good at all, at all. And just like I say, and I'm a firm believer, and I thank God for my son, and I thank God for my extended family, because I will tell you this, and this is facts. My extended family has helped me from committing suicide. So I can't tell nobody else how to look at, how to undertake and become a part of an extended family. Like I tell you all the time, I have close to 50 damn children. And I love each and every last one of them. And people might say it's crazy, but you know what? I have an individual relationship with each and every one of my children. I don't even talk to some of my children, but maybe once a month but every time we get on the phone, we'll pick up right where the hell we left off. So my extended family, no shade, my extended family is my damn backbone. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. They love me
Right.
unconditionally, no matter what. They love me whether I'm in a dress or whether I'm wearing pants. And that's and that's what's important. And that those are the things that will stop somebody from wanting to take their own damn life.
Mm-hmm.
Now you know what I always tell you, H2. If
Huh?
you unapologetic,
Yeah, I can't apologize. When people begin to realize that there's no need for them for apologizing for who they are, then we gonna get along a whole lot. I'm not gonna apologize for Helena because let me tell you something. That bitch make more money than Dirk. I'm trying to tell you, but I'm not gonna apologize for her. Just like I told you with my dating thing, my issue is sometimes I have dates and it's crazy and people laugh at me, but you know, sometimes I have dates and I have to run around this house throwing wigs underneath the bed, putting shoes in the fucking closet, putting bras underneath the bed because and I just keep it real. If you're just a fuck buddy to me, there's no need for you to know that aspect of my life. There's no need for you to know that side of my life. I mean, you're here today, you're gone tomorrow. I mean, shit, you're here today, you're gone today, you're not going tomorrow. So there's no there's no need for me to share that. And sometimes I ask myself, am I okay for being like that? Because I don't want nobody to come into my house and they see this or that, and they want to become violent. And people look at it as crazy, but for me, that's safety for me.
Yes. Yes.
That's my safety factor. You're not going to come in here and see, and if you're somebody that I've never met, you're not going to come in here and see my makeup mirror. You're not going to come in here and see my eyelashes. You're not going to come in here and see my pressed powder. You're going to come in, when you come in here, you're going to see that same nigga that you saw on A for A, Derek. You're not going to see Elena. And it's not, and it's not that I'm ashamed of Elena, because I'm not. But I also know that nobody can protect me better than God and myself.
Okay, Nikki is saying my extended family has been closer to me than almost everyone who actually has the same blood as me.
Hello.
And saying you are making me cry. I know you will tell me you love me and check on me, and that means a lot to me. And Nikki says, me too.
It has to, because you know what? We have to get back to the point where we begin to embrace and remember that we come from fucking kings and queens. We have to remember that. We have to put that has to be in the forefront of our minds. And just like I tell people, the reason why when they brought us over here, they wanted to make it a point that they brought people from this village and that village and this village and that village, was because they knew that they wouldn't fucking be able to communicate with each other. Yeah. They wouldn't be logical enough to bring everybody on that boat is from the same damn village, because they probably would have had a serious uprising on the damn ship, because they're gonna be like, yo nigga, we got to beat these white people's asses. And we need to remember that we came from kings and queens, and we say what they want to say. We built America, plain and simple. We built the White House and we built fucking America. Because I mean, look at it. Right, look at it. We have been, even within the black race, we have always been so crucial towards each other, because even back in the slavery days, they didn't like me because I was a house nigga and you was a little bit darker than me and you was a field nigga. Well, it ain't my fault that my mother that the master raped my mother and he put me in the house. Right. You know, so we really need to embrace our, and when you look at it, I'm gonna send you this thing. When you look at it, even back down to the Romans and the Greeks, homosexuality was a serious part of their life, period. You look at the Asians, they almost look at trans people as deities, because they say, and even because they would like me, they'll say for me that they look at me in a certain way because they consider me having twin spirits, a male spirit and a female spirit.
And I think that the more we acknowledge that, the healthier we'll be.
You're right. And people just don't want to acknowledge facts. Like I say, my son right here, I've known my son forever, and the day I'm grateful for him and this journey that
Uh-oh. Have some technical difficulties again on your end, H2. Pop in and pop back out.
Calder, did you move the thing? Why did you move it? Where's that?
All right. While we do that, let me address
What?
the comment right quick. Uh, it has hurt me so many times when my daughter's friends tell me that their families don't accept them because of their preference. As a mother, I just can't see treating my girls different because of them being who they are, and it's sad.
It is sad. It is sad. A lot of kids put out on the street because of who they are. It is sad.
Okay, now here's my question. You went to the HBCU Morgan State, correct?
Yep.
Okay, now at that point in time, were you
It
basically in a transitional?
is
No,
sad, Nikki, but unfortunately,
no, I wasn't. I started my transition in 2014. I went to Morgan from 1992 to 1996.
Okay, so what was the environment like there in terms of people who are trans or gay or lesbian?
Um, well, some people had tolerance and some people didn't.
right.
But I will say during my tenure there, the first openly gay Mr. Morgan was elected, and that was
Oh
my friend
wow.
George Blake. So that was a big deal.
Oh, I know him, Benson.
Yes.
Yes, he's extended family. Yeah, my my sister has children by his uncle.
Okay, got you.
Yeah, I remember.
Okay,
I remember.
Miss Pat saying is brother's married name Treat.
Huh?
I don't understand it either.
What
She
she
says
say?
his brother marriage name Treat.
I don't know what that is.
Okay, you want to
So
expound on that, Miss Pat?
she gonna have to expound on that.
We're not quite sure where you're going with that.
You trying, but I don't think nobody up in here is no treat hunt. It's not October. We not tricking or treat hunt. Catch me on the catch me on a good day, biatch. You gotta catch us in October to find out if we're gonna be a treat or not, honey. Not in November. What tomorrow? Well, in the Lord, it's gonna be December. But I wanna. This is what I'm gonna do, and I need y'all help with this. Once this pandemic is over, what I'm gonna start traveling with Hey Bitches. Once the pandemic is over, I'm gonna see if like, schools that may have a gay alliance or whatever the case may be will let me come there and do my Hey Bitches show, or some of our allies, because like
Could you do Drag Queen Story Hour?
Yeah, I would do that. I mean, somebody asked me to do that, and I said, yeah, I would, but I think, like I was telling Eric and everybody else, my thing is I don't want anybody to identify my show as a gay show. My show is a show, but I happen to be a gay male. I don't want, because anything that we talk about on this show, heterosexuals, homosexuals, bisexuals, and trisexuals can talk about it. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to. Oh, well, you going on that gay show? Well, no, because last week we was talking about sororities and fraternities. That's not that. I don't. Now, when I told y'all last week the other side of drag and the seriousness of it, it's serious to me because, like I said, my extended family, when I'm out in public, they'll call me mommy, they'll call me daddy, and I'm cool with that. I'm only cool with that because I'm comfortable with me.
Come to it, she got you.
All right, okay, girl. You remember you said that. Okay.
Right. Pat then cleared up a little bit. She said, I said Treat, but I meant to say what I saw his name wasn't Trent, so I deleted the comment.
Okay. No. I know you're talking about Trent, who's a trans man as well. Trent, but yeah, I ain't gonna tell you his other name back. See, I knew all of them before they transitioned.
Yeah, Pat saying we're talking about everything on your show. Absolutely.
We talk about everything and anything, and if you're grown enough to handle it, then we're here for it. But I'll let Merrick let you guys know how to hit him up. Like if you want to further information on his journey or whatever. Because like I say to you guys, when I put out information on people, I never put out people's phone numbers because that's a personal thing to me. I'll give you somebody's Facebook page, I'll give you somebody's IG page, and then it's up to them to decide whether or not they want to share their phone number with you, because I don't know. I've seen some real crazy shit happen off of people using damn giving out people numbers. I guess I'm old school because my mother them never did that shit either. So, oh, you want his number? You guys. So if Merrick wants to allow people to know about his story and they want to, just learn something about him, he'll give you the information on how, because he's a he's a very important person in our community, period. I'm not saying the alphabet community. I'm saying the community as a whole, because he works you work for what? The district attorney's office?
Yes, I work for the state's attorney's office. I'm a victim advocate for the state's attorney's office.
He's so daggone important. I'm glad who some of my damn children are, because they're more important than what the hell I am. So because you're important, I'm important too. Shit, that's my son. He important, I'm important too. The hell. Are you the first trans man that worked in that office?
You know what? I don't know. I might be the first out trans man. There might have been others before me, but they weren't out.
Oh, okay.
Nikki's saying she don't say things she don't mean. She love you.
I love you too, boo. I'm gonna have to come down. I'm gonna have to come down to Atlanta and show you how Mother Helena cook, honey. I'm gonna have to come down there and cook for you. Show you how, when I have on my good old dirty broad, putting it all up in the. No, I don't.
All but right, yeah, we have a good night. Hope you can tune in tomorrow to my show as well. Get off my lawn.
Please do. Yeah. Merrick, we want you to know, and you know what, Eric, I think we might can include Merrick in our thing we're doing for Kwanzaa, because there's 7 principals. We only got 5 people. We need 2 more people. What we try to do is we're trying to do a show around Kwanzaa and giving each person a principle to expound upon.
Oh, that's awesome. Sure, I'll do it if that's what y'all want.
Because we try to get people to know that, Kwanzaa is nothing about the materialistic shit that y'all get for Christmas. It's more about self-evaluating and getting yourself right with yourself.
Exactly. I had such a great time, y'all. Thank you so much. If you want to catch me, you can reach me on Twitter at Merrick Moses or Instagram at Merrick Moses.
Hit him up, ask the questions that you want. And the thing I say to anybody, Eric is my backbone with this, ask whatever you want, but do 2 things. Be respectful and be prepared for the damn answer.
Absolutely.
You can't keep on asking these damn questions and expect Merrick to answer the way you. That's not how the ball bounces. If you ask a question, you be prepared for the goddamn answer.
This has been great, y'all.
I love you, son. We're most definitely gonna do it again. And once this pandemic is over, we'll be able to do in-house. But right now, I'm grateful to my brother Eric for helping us out today. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'm a part of the what is it? The Nighthawk Network?
Nighthawk Network, that's right.
Nighthawk Network. As late as I'm up at night, shit.
We got my show, Get Off My Lawn. We got Dish and Tea. We have several other people's show on here. So for you who are looking on this from my Get Off My Lawn page, feel free to check this out and any of the other episodes thereof. For those of you who I've shared this with on Helena's page, by all means, please check out my show, Get Off My Lawn Live. It will be on tomorrow at 8:30 p.m. We are going to talk about...
And I will be there.
We're going to talk about the children because they are being lost in 2020 and all this foolishness with the election and all this stuff with COVID. And it's certain things that we need to discuss about them because they can't get left behind the wayside. Because bottom line, we having trouble figuring out stuff, and if we confuse, they got to be confused too.
And Eric is our residential Nighthawk Network covert specialist.
Yep, because hey y'all, here's a fact, and sometimes I have fun facts. This fact not so fun. Do y'all know? In this last month alone, we've had over 4 million positive cases just this month. Out of the 12 plus million cases of COVID we've had in the United States, 4 million is from just this month alone. Do you know 35,000 people died just this month alone?
And something
30 days. Do you know over 100,000 people hospitalized right now with COVID?
Now you see why he's that COVID expert. Do me a favor before we go. Let's do the mask thing. I tell y'all all the time, wearing the mask and not wearing the mask properly, you may as well not put the damn thing on. The mask have to cover your nose and your mouth. The clear masks, they're cute, but they're only effective if you have a mask to go on. Come to help. How you gonna wear a clear mask and ain't got nothing over your nose? This is the proper way to wear a mask, my people.
With your nose and your mouth covered, you put it on with the loops. You don't touch the middle. You do not contaminate. Okay, and when you are done with your mask, you don't pull it off like that. You take it off again by the loops and pull it out. You want to get as little hand contact as possible. And furthermore, you see this? This is a reusable mask. So that means if you've been outside in contact with people all day, please go ahead and throw that in the wash and wear it, and then pull you out another one for the next day. Like I said, I got masks for days. I'm trying to have as many masks as I got drawers, and I got plenty of drawers.
Oh, but well, I ain't got plenty of them because most of the time I be free balling.
During the pandemic, you got to be outside. Hey, it is what it is.
Yeah, we most definitely need to. And you say 4 million? You said 4 million?
You say Miss Pat say she's also a family member. That's right. You part of the network, Miss Pat.
You said 4 million, Eric?
4 million positive cases just this month alone.
And that's probably going to get higher after they come up with the numbers from all these damn people who went on vacation.
Remember, the incubation period of COVID-19 is 2 to 14 days. But ideally, you start to get symptoms somewhere in that 5th or 6th day. So for all you people that's going to get tested today, you might want to wait till the end of the week and then get tested.
Dr. Fauci said that today. But I have to go, y'all.
All right, we love you, son.
Take care now. Thank you.
All right. I hope Dr. Fauci get a cabinet position. I really, really do. I really think it's going to be very important for him because he has been the most consistent with everything that he's done as far as this COVID is concerned. And like I said yesterday, and I want people to realize, when Eric comes up with these numbers, I want y'all to realize one thing. These numbers are only numbers of the people who've been tested. So if it's 4 million from people who've been tested,
Yes, because people, they're saying that these are just the tested numbers. Remember, there's people out here, they're not going to get tested. They're scared to know the truth. There's other people out here, while they waiting to get tested, it's already too late. They already got it. So before they can even get the test results back, they're already in the hospital.
And then you have these people who are like me, you and Coach was talking about the other day. Then you have people out here who are super spreaders.
Right. And then, of course, we have states like Florida where the governor don't even come on TV and let you know nothing about what's going on with COVID. And in fact, they didn't open everything up fully. You seen the football game yesterday, down there in Tampa Bay. They might as well have a full stadium.
That's just like with your state, how everybody is bucking against your governor. And in my opinion, your governor's doing the right thing. Shut shit down. Period.
Absolutely. Because like I said, I know some people don't agree with how she's doing it, but hey, I feel like she ain't doing enough. I think these numbers still 8,000, 9,000 cases a day, a week or two from now, or even getting higher than that. Shut it down.
But just imagine what
Christmas is coming. Ain't nobody working that last week anyway. Go ahead and shut it back down till January.
But just imagine what the numbers are going to look like after they get numbers from all these damn people who went on vacation, who did this Thanksgiving thing.
Right. And 4 million people went on the planes in these last 4 days alone. All right, hold on. We got comments, okay? Princess Leia in the house.
Hey, Leia, darling.
What's up, Leia? Glad you could check on in. Miss Patty saying it was a man in the store wanted to argue with me because he had his mask pulled down, and I asked him to pull it up. His ignorant ass told me he's not worrying about dying. And if it's his time to go, it's his time to go.
And you know what?
Hold on. I told him you are very selfish, and others don't know what you have, and you are not being fair to other people. And keep his mask down. That pisses me off. That's why I hate going out even. Because I swear, I went to the corner store yesterday, and there's these two Caucasian men. They walked up in there, no mask. Owner ain't say shit to them. Not a damn thing.
And see, that what bothers me, because God forgive me if y'all think I'm wrong. See, shit like that make me want to put hands on the motherfucker. I'm trying, because you know what? I don't care if you don't care about your life. And you know what? At this particular point in time, you show me you don't care, but I'm going to ask you just to fucking respect my life and wear your damn mask.
Absolutely.
You ain't got to care.
You just seen somebody's news report by now. This been going on damn near all year. You know what it is.
I was catching a bus home today, and it's 3 people that got on the bus. All of them had on masks and wasn't there one of their nose covered. I'm like, why the fuck are you wearing your mask? And then I'm a sidetrack a little bit, because I had this thing that I showed you today that I sent you about Joe Biden picking even
right.
You know, more his economic cabinet and all that, and you know, people were making
people today too. You know, that was running his campaign, Miss Sam. She's an African American woman. She was one of the people that he picked for his communication people. And all
I know that's right.
People that he picked, they are all women. Women of diverse backgrounds, black, white. He picked an Arabic woman. He doing the damn thing.
But let's look at the 4 years before him. Where was the percentage rate of how diverse was Donald Trump's cabinet?
It wasn't.
My point exactly.
It consisted of older white men and his family members.
Minus that goddamn asshole Ben Carson or whoever the hell he is. He was the only thing of color that was in his cabinet.
You know he was the token.
Child, Ben Carson was you know what Ben Carson was? A white man covered in chocolate syrup. Say what the hell you want to say, honey. It is what it is.
Yep. Okay. Hold on. Leah's saying this is why I keep my mask on and don't say a damn thing. Let them find out the hard way.
And it's sad because
and they were told not to travel, and all those selfish bastards went anyway and could carry the virus back to their family. Absolutely.
And then the sad part about it is some of them are carrying viruses back to families. Boy, you live in your damn mother's basement. Your mother is 65 years old. Why would you do something that damn dumb? Yeah, you 40, but you still living in your damn mother's basement. If you're not worried about you, at least worry about the people. Like, I mean, people even gone and you have children at home. You're not thinking about them. You're thinking about your fucking self, and that's fucking self.
Right, keep in mind, they report these stories all day, every day. But I got a personal story. Let me throw it out here right quick.
Come on.
A person that I was once involved with. I just happened to be thinking about them one day and went on their page to see, you know, what was going on with them. Suddenly, I see this black and white picture of them, and I'm like, "Why is their picture black and white now?" This don't mean what I think it means. Let me read down on their page and see what's going on. And I see the last thing they posted, and then they show the daughter, and she's got the tear emoji. So I go to her page, and she is saying, "I can't believe this. I done killed my mama." So, you know, because I'm still cool with her sister-in-law, I give her a call like, "What the hell is the child talking about?" "Oh, you don't know, huh? That's right, y'all kind of fell out. So didn't nobody tell you?" "Well, you know, she's dead now." I'm like, "Huh? What happened?" "Well, apparently, you know, because keep in mind, this person that I'm talking about, she is a person who had health issues. So she wasn't leaving the house. She wasn't going nowhere. And the thing was, she loved her grandbabies. She loved her grandbabies. So every day, her daughter was bringing the grandbabies over to watch the kids, and then would sit there with the mama. And basically, one thing led to another, because the daughter was living her best life while she dropped the kids off, being out and about, going to parties, all that stuff. And meanwhile, you know what else she brought over besides the grandbabies one day? COVID-19.
Something that wasn't invited.
COVID-19. And because her mama was, you know, had pre-existing conditions or whatnot, she ended up dying. Went to the hospital, didn't make it 48 hours. And now this child got this on her conscience the rest of her life. They basically had her move in with the sister because they scared she gonna kill herself because she feel like she killed her mama. And
but my thing is,
and her actions did lead to what happened to her.
But my thing is, people see these things happen, and what this is. This is not the time to have a fucking I don't care attitude. This is the wrong fucking time to have that kind of attitude. I'm sorry. This is not the time nor the place. They, you know, we have something that we have a responsibility for ourselves and for our loved ones. And you know that it's not cool to be around somebody that has a pre-existing conditions, whether it be cancer, whether it be diabetes, whether it be HIV or whatever the case may be. And I guess that is going to weigh heavy on her, because at the end of the day, all that she got to think is that if I wasn't out here living my own life, my mom could still be living her life.
Yeah, Miss Pat, it was sad. Like I said, it messed me up for days. This is part of the pandemic that I talk about, because you know, on the one hand, you yourself might be all right, but then you end up knowing people who died, or people that know people who've died of COVID, and you look at how it's affecting them. A lot of us is talking about how depressed we are and how we hurt, because it's like we don't have no outlet to really deal with it. And of course, I felt bad because I fell out with that person before I had a chance to tell them,
reconcile.
You know, because in the end, I didn't hate her. You know,
right.
Some discrepancies and whatnot, but in the end, I knew in time we get back together and talk and, you know, at least be cool. But I didn't get that opportunity. And
that's one of the hardest things in the world. Is
during that time of the pandemic when they wasn't letting people have no funerals or nothing. So,
oh wow,
in the hospital alone, and then the funeral, basically the daughter and the sister-in-law and a couple. They was the only people that was able to attend.
So people really couldn't even technically say their final farewells.
And that's part of the problem. You don't even have a chance to properly celebrate that person's life or to properly see them on their way. So that just sits with you.
Well, let me say this. Eric, Aunt Nikki, Big Reds, Princess, Coach Will.
Don't forget Miss Pat.
Miss Pat, Big Meech. I want all of y'all to know one thing. I genuinely love each and every last one of you, and I pray for y'all every day, because I know that I will be no good if anything happened to anyone. People can say what the fuck they want. I will be no good if anything happened to any one of y'all, and especially if it happened to y'all and it wasn't y'all doing. See, I have a major issue with that. I have a major issue with that.
Same here. So, like I said, these ain't just for decoration, folks.
They're not.
Because in the end, if you care about your loved one, hell, if you just care about your fellow man, whether they be Democrat, Republican, bottom line, COVID don't know no gender. It don't know no sexuality. It don't know Republican, Democrat. It don't know white, black. It just knows that if you allow it to be in your house, it will go there. And for most of us, most of us will live to tell the story that we had it and we okay now. But for some people, and at least at this point, over 270,000 in the United States and over 1.5 million in the world, this day last year telling any story because they no longer here.
Right, and it's sad, but we need to. Eric, I don't even know. This thing don't even seem like it's even coming. Even with them coming up with vaccines, blah 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 blah. This thing don't seem. Unfortunately, you would think that the longer something go on, the lower the numbers will go down. But we're doing a goddamn reverse. The longer this go on, the more goddamn people dying. Somebody has to do
right. And
something.
Dr. Fauci said his concern now, because you know he is the premier epidemiologist here in America. His concern now is not only are we going through basically the second wave, but now we're gonna have a second wave on top of the second wave with all these people that did the holiday travel. And of course,
right.
And then once we resolve that, guess what? We got Christmas. And some of these same damn people
are going on vacation again.
Thanksgiving. So yeah, I'm about to go back for Christmas too.
And then the sad part about that is, I wonder how many of those people who did that came back with a mindset that I need to quarantine myself X amount of days, and within 5 days I should go and get tested. Probably very few.
Exactly what Dr. Burks suggested today. If you did that, you need to self-quarantine for at least 7 days as possible, or do as much social distancing as you can, and then go get tested later on in the week.
Right. Because see, like you said, a lot of them are trying to go get tested on Monday, but you know what? There's an incubation period. So Monday is not the good time to come.
You just hung out Thursday and you came back Sunday. No, Don't go the next day and get tested because yeah, you might test negative for that day, but guess what? 2-3 days later, it's another story. Because see, my whole thing is you see now in sports, it's getting real bad. And the thing is, at the rate that's going, some of these seasons, I don't know if they're gonna make it through or not.
I don't think they are either. And then it's like and then the sad part, like when you think of little places or little towns, is like most hospitals are like at 85% capacity.
And then, like you said, some of those smaller towns, it's even worse. Right now, it's certain places in South Dakota. They report this day on ABC that in certain towns of South Dakota, if you got the COVID, they got to drive you an hour or an hour and a half away to find a hospital that can take you because all the hospitals is full.
And then the thing is, on your way to the hospital, everybody's going to pray that you make it because you know what? Somebody might not make that hour drive to get to the hospital.
Exactly.
Eric was saying that here soon, there's a possibility that they're going to be giving out free home testing kits. And the thing I say to people is, if and when they do that, just make sure, do your homework and make sure and see if your insurance will cover that for you. Because I don't want that to be a deterrent, because if your insurance don't cover it, that should not be your reason for not going to get tested.
No, it should not. And in the end, like I said, they're saying that the home test may not be as reliable as getting the test. But
right.
They're constantly working on other tests as well. They have the nasal test, but they also have a saliva test. They also have a quick test. They also have a blood droplet test as well.
I saw that today on the news that and it blew my mind because I'm so glad that you are the Nighthawk Network. I'm so glad that you are our COVID specialist because I saw that today. I was like, they're not putting that up her nose. They're putting it in her mouth. What the hell is they testing her for? But now that you confirmed it, I was like, okay, well.
Because of course they also have developed a test here in Michigan that will test you not only for coronavirus, but for flu as well.
Right. And that's another thing we got to think about. You got the corona along with the flu and pneumonia season. So that's like a triple damn whammy. Just imagine somebody coming down with corona and then they end up with the flu and damn pneumonia.
Like I said on my show yesterday, the worst case scenario, you go to the hospital for something minor, but you have to be hospitalized. But meanwhile, because you're around all these people that got COVID, you end up catching COVID from that. How many of them stories you done heard that you done went to the hospital for one thing, end up being in there longer because you done got sick from something else?
And then even look at the numbers of all the people who are on our front lines who have been tested positive. And most of these people are people who we looked at as taking all of the safety protocols they're supposed to be taking.
Do you know in North Dakota, there are certain hospitals where people who are asymptomatic with the coronavirus are still working as frontline workers just because they don't have enough frontline workers to work?
That's and see now you got me thinking because now they're putting people at risk.
Right now they got people coming straight out of nursing school going straight to the front line. You don't get a chance to train or nothing. They throwing you in there. They got people that's coming out of retirement to help people.
Right. I know that they've been bringing nurses,
students, people who ain't even fully graduated from med school, helping to get people healthy from COVID-19.
Yeah, we had Baltimore City, Baltimore County Community College, which has one of the best nursing programs. I mean, they've been like trying to, and then it scared me because I'm like, are you rushing these people to their classes just so they can go on the front line? Or do these people have the knowledge to know what they're doing?
The answer is yes, and we hope so.
And we all need to make sure that we keep our frontline people in our prayers. And like I said to you guys yesterday, we need to realize that prayer is not necessary for you to know what the person is going through. All that you need to do is send their name up to God. God knows everything, and He can take it from there.
Yeah, Miss Pat is saying that is so sad and wrong. Yes, it is. And
it is.
And as always, Miss Pat, you are in my prayers because you have loved ones you've lost from COVID-19 and other things as well. So, I think that's part of what's been hurting my sleep apnea lately. I just have trouble sleeping because I get to thinking about all the people and all they're going through right now. And then
to think that some of us who deal with depression, the holiday seasons aren't good for us anyway. And then to add this on top of that, it's like I mean, like I try my best to talk to Miss Pat and you guys every day just to see how you're doing, because people need to realize when you tell somebody good morning, I love you, how are you doing, that can make that for somebody like me who deal with depression, that could be the
That goes
difference
a long
between
way. It really,
that could be the difference between you wanting to commit suicide and you having and you feel as though that you have a reason to still live.
that gives you the will of going. Because, like, for example, today when I was just laying there, like, look, you got to get up and do something, man. It's bad enough
Right.
working and all that and money. And then I got to thinking, you know what? I said I was gonna help H2 with this research. So let me get on up and make myself useful. And from that, I was like, okay, I'll find all kind of stuff. Like, okay, cool.
I was sitting there saying, like I say, everybody is looking at the negative side, and like I said yesterday on the remix is, what, if you really take time and you really look, trust me, you can pull something positive out of something negative that transpires in your life.
Absolutely. Leah's saying that's just ridiculous. There's a possibility that all who are asymptomatic will start showing symptoms after their stress levels with treating others go up significantly. Yes, because
Right.
stress does affect your immune system. It absolutely.
Oh my God. Oh my God. This is good. This is really probably going to be another sleepless night for me, because that information you gave me was deep. Whew.
Okay. Miss Pat is saying I text H2 today because I kept thinking about my niece and crying. I was so depressed. I hate that, Miss Pat. I know you've been going through it. I know.
But guess what, baby? We are here for you. We're gonna be that strong network. We're gonna bring the village back to America. Since nobody else want to bring it back, we're gonna bring the damn village back.
And like I said, Miss Pat, you pretty much see I be up all different hours of the night. So you need to text or message me. You go right ahead.
And you have the same thing for me, and that goes to any and everybody. Because like I told y'all yesterday, sometimes people just need somebody that's willing to listen. Absolutely. You ain't gotta say shit, just listen.
Sometimes you just need to vent. As simple as that. Sometimes you just need to let it be.
I don't, Eric. I'm just so flabbergasted by these new damn numbers, and these numbers not even including all these damn people who went on vacation.
And like I said, these the people that yet to be tested. So like I said, we basically wait to the end of the week to see if they're gonna get sick or how many people they're gonna spread it to in the meantime. Because some of these people, they went straight from being at Yaya and all them house, 30, 40 people. Hell, they showed today on Extra. Because I watch all different news stuff.
Right.
This weekend had a damn party with 40 people. No social distance, bumping the ground and the whole deal.
Now, see, my thing is,
Instagram. I don't want to hear. Sorry, you know better.
I had an issue with the Supreme Court when they went against the mayor of New York and said that they wasn't going to allow they wasn't going to hinder how many people can go to a religious. You had 7,000 damn people at a Jewish wedding. Come the fuck on, really?
And they are one of the largest groups in New York that's getting the COVID. Because when they first shut down the schools, they had to shut down all the Jewish schools first because they weren't practicing none of the protocols. They wasn't wearing no mask, social distance, nothing, because they believe God gonna get them through. Remember, people, the Lord helps those who help themselves.
The Lord help those. The Lord help those who help themselves, but the Lord also gave you common sense.
Absolutely.
Come on, y'all know 7,000 people in one room for a damn wedding at one time.
And as contagious as the virus is right now, at least one of them people had the virus. At least one.
But just imagine how many people could have been in there that was a super spreader.
That is a super spreader event. Let's just say what it is.
That's what it is.
Next week they're gonna be talking about how many people from that doggone situation already had a virus. It's just
we need to just keep each other in prayer and just make.
Okay, Miss Patty, just to hear my great niece ask my brother and his wife, when is mommy coming back to us?
I can't, Miss Pat. I can't do that one. That one is
And like I said, that's why we're gonna address the kids tomorrow, because imagine you as a child dealing with COVID right now. I mean, imagine here you are. One day everything is cool, and then the next day, mommy and daddy gone, and you don't understand why. You don't know why, and then you got somebody telling you they're not coming back. They gone. You might not even be old enough to even understand what death is. You just know that the last week suddenly they ain't not here no more. And what you mean I gotta leave my house and come live with you now? Huh?
And you know what? And the sad thing about that, Eric, is I was looking. You know, I'm a news person too. I'm an undercover nerd. Don't tell nobody. But I was looking at the news, and you know they said they said that they still had 545 of those kids still have not been reunited with their damn parents yet.
And see, that's a whole nother story entirely. I'm gonna talk about that a little bit too tomorrow because it's more than that, to be honest.
Yeah, but that's just crazy.
Kids from their parents and they have no idea where their parents are. Hell, in some of these cases, they don't even know if their parents are still alive.
That's what I'm trying to say. So why my thing is okay, you say there was illegal immigrants or whatever the case may be, but then whether there was illegal immigrants or not, where is your fucking accountability for what you did? You separated the children and you didn't have no damn plan.
Right, they all came here together, and you had the audacity to not only separate some of these kids, but you don't put them so far away from their parents, they don't have no idea nothing. Imagine you a child, you come to this country with your parents, and now they gone. You don't understand a lick of English, and then on top of that, you got COVID going on, and you know, I could even fathom what they might be thinking.
But just imagine if they're in the, as I'm gonna call them, and no, that's not what it is.
And 2 and 4 years old don't understand what's going on.
No, they don't, and it's gonna be hard to explain. And I can attest to that because remember I shared with y'all yesterday. I lost my mom at the age of 2. I don't remember anything about my mother, nothing. Only thing I remember about my mother is what people tell me. And you know, for me, that's not the kind of memory I want. I wanted to have my own damn memories of my mother.
Right. And like I said, I lost my father 10 years ago suddenly, and it still bothers me to this day. And I got him as an adult and all. So I can only imagine what you feel like as a child when you just starting to know anything, period. And
right.
The whole world just get turned upside down in a matter of a day or two.
Yeah, we need to pray, and we need, like I said, and I keep on saying this, we need to make sure that we start paying attention to elections, period. Not just elections for the president. We need to make sure we have control over who's going in Congress, who's going to the Senate. We need to make sure who's going to be on our local city council. Right. We need to make sure who the mayor going to be, who the governor going to be. We need to stand up and make a damn difference, period.
Right. And then in the end, if they ain't doing what we need them to do, we need to hold them accountable by any means that we have available to us, whether it be protests, writing letters, blowing up their phones, whatever the case may be. We cannot allow this to be the status quo anymore.
No, we can't, because it's sad when you get in your mindset and you say to yourself, the only way the damn Lindsey Graham and fucking Miss McConnell gonna get out of office is if their asses die.
I mean, it's sad because, like I said, it concerns me because in the communities in which they were voted back in, what the hell goes on there? Like I said, I feel
that's what I would like to know.
Movie, but for some reason, our popcorn come with butter, but theirs come with salt and something else. And right? They're not the way we see it. I don't get it.
No, that's just like we said. That's why a lot of these politicians make it a point to be real close.
Leah's right. She's saying to top that, you got all these corrupt ICE officials doing all sorts of crazy shit to these people coming into the country. Oh yeah, it's all type of corruption going on with it.
That's why I'm grateful for Biden, because he said he's gonna realign us back with the countries and the organizations that Donald Trump took it upon himself to disconnect us with. Why? We've been a part of things for years, and you come in and you're gonna, first of all, it's bad enough that America owed half of the fucking world.
Right.
And we have a hell of a deficit that and I want people to realize we have a hell of a deficit that
like I said, we owe China billions and billions, but yet we want to get upset with them and mad. And keep in mind, yeah, we talk about how the virus came from China or whatever, but they're dealing with it just like we are.
But see, the thing is, and one thing I tell people I want y'all to realize is that you also have to realize that in China, they have a lot of They have embassies. They have military bases and all that in China. So who's to say that a person of Asian persuasion was the first person who had the virus? It could have been somebody from England who's in a military installation over there.
Do you know in China they say they telling some of the population that this didn't start with us. Black people was the one who brought the coronavirus to China. Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
You can look up on YouTube. I don't remember the exact documentary where they talk about it, but yeah, they blame black people, African Americans, for the virus, and it's to the point where in certain businesses, I think that's in Hong Kong, where they don't allow, or at least at that point, they were not allowing black African American people in the building at all.
So, but what was their proof that it was brought to them by African Americans?
China is a communist country, so they
right.
They run on propaganda. They don't want the people to know the truth. They keep them purposely confused.
And that's where they held President.
Remember what's going on here, and black and all that, and all the protests and whatnot. Imagine what type of protest you're gonna have in a country with over 1 billion people if they more or less ascertain that it was the government that caused the virus.
Right.
You imagine the chaos that would cause in China?
But you know what? At the end of the day, and like I tell people, we're in this now. At this particular point in time, we really can't. I mean, we should always focus on the beginning, on the starting point. But right now, we need to be more focused on getting these vaccines together, getting this thing under control. Because I would imagine probably years and years ago, we would lose it just as many people with the flu and pneumonia before we came up with vaccines and everything.
Right. And remember, folks, we went through something similar to this many years ago with the Spanish flu.
Right.
Just the way it's happening now. There was a first wave, then people started getting lax and not doing what they was originally doing. And that led to a second wave. And the second wave was way worse than the first one. And that's exactly where we find ourselves now. And here's my thing. Okay, for the president, as you figure out what the fuck you gonna do with your life once you get the hell on January 20th. You want to protect your legacy. You want to show the people that you still cared about them. If you want to have some type of comeback in 2024, whether it be with your child or yourself or what have you, you need to step up now. You know you was wrong about the virus. You see how bad it is. You know Congress need to get off their ass and give us our fucking money. Get your butt on TV and tell the folks, yeah, I'm about to bring the Democrats and Republicans. And I know Nancy don't like it, but I need to bring them together, and we need to get the damn support that the people need together now. And they're not leaving this room until we work out a deal. That's how you prove your worth as president.
But you know what? The problem that I had with that is you executive order every goddamn thing else. Won't you put an executive order in to get this goddamn stimulus check together? Don't fucking play with me.
Exactly. I said you didn't sideway your way around all type of other stuff.
Right.
That part.
Because just like I say, he wasn't.
Uh-oh. Okay, we done lost Elena, y'all. But yeah, I mean, bottom line, something got to go on. Okay, Miss Pat, you saying garlic and onion head bitches? That's some bullshit right there. Absolutely. You are absolutely right. Yeah, because bottom line is we still got some work to do as a people, as a country, as everything. But the hopeful thing is we got somebody come to the White House that's going to work with us. That's going to work, like he said. He's done it so far, and he's been saying it. I'm not just going to be the president for the people that voted for me. I'm going to be the president for the people that didn't vote for me as well, for all America. Okay, Pat saying that orange bitch don't care about nothing, but he's saying cray ass won the election. And he's still on that, even to this day, as Arizona and Wisconsin both verified their election results and certified. Even after all that, he's still telling these lies on his damn Twitter page. Uh-oh. Can't hear you. No sound. No sound. Okay, we're trying to get H2 back together, y'all. Trying to get the sound and stuff going on so we can finish up the show here. But no, like I said, it's a lot going on here, and people are not really getting the gist of what needs to be done. They too busy thinking about self, and that is costing people their lives. They are too busy thinking about why it is important to keep some sense of normalcy, not understanding that ain't nothing normal about this right now. And it's not just here in America. It's not just here in Detroit. It's not just there in Maryland. It's not just there in DC. Bottom line is we are going through this all over the world. This is a worldwide pandemic with worldwide consequences. Some of these things people are not thinking about at all. Okay, Leah saying Trump is certifiably nuts. Still no sound from you, but I got you. Okay, the bottom line here, folks, is we not only need to be careful, but we need to continue to tell people and deliver the message that yes, we need to start looking out for one another. We got to stop having this selfish, just me, myself, and I, and my house view of what's going on. He is a selfish, racist bitch. It is exactly that. Okay, Helena trying to get back in here one more time so we can finish up the show. But while I'm doing that, let me tell you tomorrow, guys, we will be back on the Nighthawk Network with Get Off My Lawn. Get Off My Lawn will be on tomorrow at 8:30. Get Off My Lawn Live. And we will be discussing what about the children and talking about some of these children's issues that not only are not being reported, but are going by the wayside because of the pandemic. Hold on. Okay, we got sound. Still no sound. Okay, so yeah, H2 is about to shut it down. So yeah, I'm gonna finish it up for you. Okay, this has been Hey Bitches Live. That is your host, Helena Hologram. Wonderful show. I'm glad I was here to help you out. You know I got your back as always. Meanwhile, folks, thank you for tuning in. Thanks for all y'all who commented and checked out the show and were able to share. We appreciate you. Again, like I said, tomorrow I'll be on Get Off My Lawn Live, 8:30 p.m. We're going to talk about the children and, of course, the usual trending topics. Please tune in then if you can and share with a friend. We appreciate you sharing the show with as many people as you can. Thank you so much. Yeah, Miss Pat, we glad you stopped by as always. Until next time, y'all, this is H2 and your boy Eric B. We out. Y'all have a good night. Y'all be safe. And y'all pray for everybody, okay?